What's up, guys? Could the Philadelphia 76ers make the NBA Finals this year? Let's talk about it.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like before this game, he stink!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Fan Friday. As always, I'm your host, Jake Friel, along with Dan Shriok. Pete had to answer a phone call, so he'll be back in a little bit. But we got a jam-packed show for you, as always. Got a lot to discuss. Philadelphia 76ers expectations moving forward. Could they make the NBA Finals with James Harden and Joel Embiid? We'll get into that. All-Star Game preview, we'll get into that as well. Around the NFL, obviously, we have reports now, again, rumors going around that Kyler Murray isn't happy with the Cardinals organization, and now it looks like Carson Wentz could be out of the Indianapolis Colts after 1 year. So it looks like Howie won that deal. And as always, at the end of the show, and even during the show, when we're just discussing whatever topic we're focusing in on, call-ins, you can call them whenever you want, message our socials on Facebook or Instagram, being like, hey, send me the link. I want to come on, want to talk about basketball, football, maybe even the MLB holdout, which is fucking ridiculous at this point. It's still, the fact that it's still going on is insane. But as always, Fan Friday is brought to you by Gleason's Bar. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online at Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. The promo code again is A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online. Our poll question for tonight is brought to you by All Campus. All Campus is giving 20% off everything in their store, including hats, shirts, and team cornhole sets to all our YouTube subscribers. So whenever you go to All Campus in Ocean City, New Jersey, just show John that hey, I'm subscribed to A2D. Bam, 20% off. You want that shirt? Just subscribe to A2D. 20% off. Bam. John's giving everything away. 20% off. Can't beat it. The poll question for tonight, James Harden and Joel Embiid will lead the Philadelphia 76ers to the NBA Finals this season. Agree or disagree? Go ahead, Dan.
I'm going to disagree with the poll. I would love to say yeah. And I think that, the combo of these two guys will work and will have success. But without actually seeing it and knowing how long it's going to take for them to actually mesh together, I'm still hesitant to say that they're going to go to the finals. The other thing is, Doc Rivers is always going to be a big question because of his decision-making. Last night he surprised me on a handful of occasions with his actual adjustment. So it was a step in the right direction. But there's a lot to be left on the table in terms of like him showing, especially in the playoffs, that he's going to make timely adjustments and just, getting a sense of the game at the right time, So yeah, I'm going to disagree as of right now, even though I'm very optimistic in terms of how this will play out with these guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's a good point you bring up too. And obviously I think a lot of us have that concern with Doc Rivers because he's shown it in the past when he's had loaded rosters before, outside of obviously his loaded team in Boston. He's had other loaded teams before and they've come up short, especially in game sevens. We know Doc's notorious for screwing it up in game sevens.
NBA history.
Yeah, exactly. So,
most blown 3-1 leads.
Yep. So, Pete, what do you say?
This is just such a hard question because it's just like, on the one hand, you got James Harden, Embiid's playing at an MVP level. Tobias is playing a lot better than he did at the start of the season, and Maxey is starting to get into his own, which is great. On the other hand, the East is kind of really good right now, and it's all going to depend on your matchups. And Harden's coming back from the hamstring thing. I want to say yeah, but I think I'm going to go with no, just because no new super team or new duo ever does it in their first year. It just never happens.
Okay.
Like the only time I can think it's ever happened. Well, obviously, like was it the KD team, but like that was basically like a gimme. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then last year with the Bucks, where they added Drew Holiday. So I think they're going to have to do a lot just to gel together so quickly. Like I'm just not even sure about what this team's going to look like. I might feel a little bit. Obviously, Doc Rivers is also a big factor because he's a choke artist, and I don't trust him. I don't trust his lineups. I don't trust his in-game decisions. He'll next time he get mad, he'll be like, "Hey, you wouldn't ask Red Arborock this, or you wouldn't ask Phil Jackson this."
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
You wouldn't ask Sonny Koufax this. Anyone who watches the draft day will find that hilarious.
I haven't seen that movie in a while. It's a good movie though. Underrated.
Fantastic.
Underrated movie.
But yeah, like there's just so many different factors. Like maybe after the All-Star break, when I get a sense of where Harden's at, and we get to see what players they add in the buyout market, I'll feel a little bit different. But as of right now, I don't think they're going to make the finals, but like I don't exactly need them to, like if they made the finals this year, it'd be amazing and it'd be super static. But I don't exactly need them to make the finals. You make the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm happy. Good year. Something to build off into the next year, where I definitely think next year is a finals or bust year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I almost share the same sentiment, but you know what? I'm going to agree. I think they do it this year. I'm not going to say they win it all per se, but I think they absolutely make it at least to the NBA Finals this year with how the team's constructed currently. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about the buyout market a little bit later, but how the team looks right now, I mean, I don't see why not. Because the way that the Sixers came back against the Milwaukee Bucks last night showed me a lot. It showed me a hell of a lot about this team, the toughness, and again, you don't have James Harden on the court yet. So that opens up. That's going to open up so many things for Embiid, Maxey, and the rest of this offense. So the defenses are going to have to pick. Do you want to double team Joel Embiid, or do you want to double team James Harden? Pick your poison. Someone's going to be open for a three, or someone's going to be open down the lane. So I just think right now this team is built for a nice run. We'll definitely get past the second round, and we'll get that monkey off our back. Knock on wood. But yeah, I think we absolutely at least make it to the NBA Finals. But going a little more into it. So obviously 8 days ago, got James Harden. And with how this team's constructed right now, obviously we'll get into the buyout market a little bit later. What would you say your expectations are? Not even for this season, but just moving forward.
Championship or bust.
Championship, okay.
Especially if they continue to build this team correctly and Maxey takes the next step like I think he will. Because
you don't think he's taken that next step already?
I think he's taken the step in the right direction. Like he's been playing more as I would like him to as a second-year player, as opposed to the up and down slopes. Like he's been consistently good as of late.
Yeah.
But I mean like that next level where it's like this kid's a superstar, year 3,
Right.
Like that Carson Wentz step, like
right. He becomes an MVP.
Yeah, like MVP candidate. Like people can be like, oh, he played his first year. I'm like, he did and he didn't. Like, he was here, he was there, and he hardly ever played in the playoffs. Like, this was his first full season, like as a real starter, like getting real minutes, and he's done solid. Like, I mean, I want next year with him being like, oh my God, that's Dame Lillard-esque. That's, that's the type of player I want. I want the instant impact player. Like, I want to look at that guy and be like, holy shit, this guy worked on his game. Look at the threes. Look at the defense. Like, look at everything. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we're probably not, to be fair, though, like at least right now, and depending on what Harden signs for, whether it's, I mean, I'm assuming it'll probably be a 4-year deal or whatever.
The
but,
3 or 4 year, that's what I would think.
They're not going to need him to do that.
cough 375, 3 for 75, cough.
I mean, if that's it, I'll take it.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, like Maxey's not going to be, he's not going to be forced to be doing what he's doing so far this season.
No, he's not going to be. But like, if you can get him to take that next level and be like an elite-esque player, along with James Harden and Tobias Harris, who's just a solid number 3 or 4, you know what? That's a really great team, and you have a lot of options. Not to mention of all the possible trade pieces, including Tobias Harris, that you're going to have in the offseason, and you're really looking to A, bolster the bench, B, get back into the first round, or C, go out and get a legit, true third superstar.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, and I think that's been rumored to happen, right? Because at least I've been seeing, I'm sure Dan's probably seen it too, where there's speculation that Daryl Morey could move on from Tobias Harris and move on from that contract in the offseason in order to bring in a third superstar. So whoever that may be,
imagine
yet
that
to be seen, but
imagine that. Like, imagine you get rid of obviously you're probably swapping out Tobias, Danny, Kirkmans, and a few other stuff. And
I can throw in Thibault in there too, and I'm fine.
Yeah, I would throw Thibault in there. I don't care, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care.
And then you go out and you get, like, let's say you get a third superstar, whoever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to pair them with Maxey, who develops. Like, that is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already rumors in terms of potentially like who it could be. Morey was on a couple podcasts, and
are you talking about the 2 first-round things?
Part of it, yeah. But basically, the one trade that they alluded to, if you broke it down and you thought about the teams that he was talking about and who it potentially could be, it was Bradley Beal. It was the only thing that made sense because it broke down basically when Beal, and they announced that Beal was going to have season-ending surgery. So
I saw that a completely different route, but I could understand why you would say that. Because he was talking about it, right? He's talking about how he was just throwing out like 2 first-round picks to a team for a guy he liked.
I wasn't talking about that aspect of it. But yeah,
my random thought is I think it's Shea. I think he caught, and this is just my opinion. I'm just spitballing. I think he called up OKC and was like, "Hey, I like that SGA guy. What do you think? 2 first-round picks?"
Well, he would cost way more than 2 first.
I know, but here's the thing. That's what Morey said, where he's just like, I knew it wasn't going to get it done. Me as a GM, I just wanted to see if that sweetened the pot at all.
Right.
Hey, 2 first-round picks. Who cares? What do you think?
I love SGA.
Okay, all right. See you later.
Yeah, I don't know. They can go so many different directions.
So you stick an extra 100 in the pot just to see what the fuck the other person does.
Yeah.
Maybe they blink. Maybe they don't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and again, I was, when it's rumor city on Twitter, it's just a bunch of speculation. And it's nuts. I was seeing people say LeBron to Philly. I saw that.
Sure.
I saw that.
Cry tears of joy.
If the stuff that Zach Lowe said, and now it was just conspiracy theories,
right?
But regardless of the fact that it's actually being
talked about,
brought up at all, is crazy that Harden would take less money in the offseason, and it's part of the reason that he didn't take the additional year right away.
Yep.
Well, I heard it was because of they didn't get the paperwork in.
I mean, that's well documented, but that's what he's saying. It's a conspiracy theory why he waited to do it, or why they made it look like that, is to get, him to take less and then bring in that other guy. I mean, you still have to trade the buys, but
are you saying they pulled a Sashi? Oh no! I'm sorry. The paperwork. We just didn't get in at 4:00. My bad, guys. Oh, I lost my job. That's okay. I just saved the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This offseason, I think, is going to be absolutely. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Both off seasons for basketball and football are going to be fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about that too towards the end of the show because this offseason is going to be
please insane. So he doesn't do anything stupid. Please, God.
But let's get into the comments real quick because I feel like I'm leaving the fam hanging out to dry. Before we get into the comments are brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and use and get free shipping with promo code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Again, the promo code is A2D for 20% off and free shipping. You can't beat it. Pope Platinum Beat says Imperial Lord Pope Platinum. Oh my God. Rob Brakeman says, better question. Will Doc Rivers lead the Sixers to the final? Yeah.
When the worst person you know makes a good point.
Yeah. I mean, Brinks, it's a fair point. And I've said it before. And a lot of us said it on when we were talking about the poll question, right? It's a legitimate concern. Not saying that Doc stinks. It's just he's known to choke in
I'm saying he stinks.
Yeah, he's known to choke in big games. So
it's Brett Brown with a ring.
Frank Vespi from A2D Wednesday night. He says, hope Pete had a good phone call. Frank also says, let's hope the Sixers get out of the second round first. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not really worried about it per se, but if they don't make it out of the second round this year, we're
gonna go get Mike D'Antoni. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole Mike D'Antoni.
I'd rather snip my fucking wrist on live television.
Yeah, no, but I don't think
like if there's a coach I hate more than Doc Rivers, it's Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about losing?
Just there's a guy who represents Clipper mentality without ever being a Clipper. It's Mike D'Antoni.
You have all the.
You know what Mike D'Antoni is? You ever see the meme of the guy who's like biting the metal and spraying the champagne and kissing the girl, and he's just like he ends up in like fucking last place? That's Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, not against it. Got the Celebrity All-Star game in the background. What a mess. Brian Wilson from Agree to Disagree says, what's up, boys? What's up, Wills? Rick Fink says, me and Dan knew Harden was a Sixer 3 days before the trade. Yeah, well, we all said it, and I know me and Dan texted about it too.
Yeah.
So it's, we all kind of knew the stars are pretty much aligned for that. Todd Womack says, Philly Dilly fam. What's up, Todd?
What's up?
Good morning from Germany. I think it's what? Todd, what is it? What time is it over there? I'm just wondering. Rob Povia from the Hockey Happy Hour. He says, agree to the poll. Let's go. You can check Rob and Brian Maddie on the Hockey Happy Hour on Tuesday nights. Sorry, get your hockey fix. That's where you go. Even though the Sixers stink, they don't just talk Flyers.
You mean Flyers stink?
Oh, no, we know the Flyers stink.
Well, no, you said even though the Sixers stink.
Did I say Sixers? I'm sorry. Even though the Flyers stink, I'm sorry.
I apologize. I'm sorry that you guys have to talk Flyers. I hope your day is going well, and your day is just filled with like nothing but shenanigans.
Anthony Ada says the Sixers will be okay, especially when everyone gets on the same page. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I don't think it'll take long for Harden to mess with the team. I really don't.
Okay. We're going to trade for KD in the offseason.
Oh, my God. Yeah, then Harden will one out probably because those two just can't get along for whatever reason.
I feel like it was less them getting along and more so that like KD was just okay with all Kyrie shenanigans and he was just like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, no, that's fair too.
Like I know they disagreed on some basketball philosophies, but that's like something you can actually discuss. You can't exactly discuss crazy McCrazy pants saying the world is flat and vaccines are like turning into a cyborg.
That's Kyrie for you, but no, I completely get it if that's the case. Chuck's Moranin
Chucks.
from Birds of a Feather. You can check him, Pete, and Chrome out on Thursday nights. They do a great job over there. Obviously, the NFL offseason's underway. We got the NFL Combine starting in just 2 weeks, which is crazy.
The best people are named Pete.
Yeah, so Chucks and all them will definitely be focusing in on, obviously, the Combine and draft prospects and that whole thing. So
Chucks is only focused on Russell Wilson. Let's not get it twisted now.
It's focused on Russell Wilson and running back.
He wakes
Let's
up,
get it right.
eat, sleep, talk about Russell Wilson, repeat.
No, listen. He might go as crazy as the night we drafted Miles. If you guys remember, that video is back in the archives. If you guys want to look back at that one, but
I mean,
Chucks might go even crazier if we get Russell Wilson.
Can the draft be as crazy as it was last year in the second round? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
That was a wild night when we picked Dickerson. Everyone was just like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, I was fine with it. I wasn't.
No, I didn't hate the pick, but I also was like, I wanted my guy. I was about to go 2 for 2.
Todd also says agree because we have to reach the finals for Embiid's MVP season this year. Would still be happy with the Eastern Conference Final. Yeah,
he's top in 40 like every other night. Like he's MVP unless he gets hurt, and that's it.
I mean, they picked that award before you get to that point, anyways.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll as long as Embiid keeps up at this pace, I'm not even worried about him. Because Dan sent something in our group chat earlier today with the MVP votes or first place MVP votes, and I think Embiid
he's won right
45.
now.
He
has 45 over Jokic.
Yeah, it was no. It was 45 votes, and each first place vote I think it's like a point, a certain point amount.
Okay.
And he had 2 more first place votes than Jokic. So I think it was like a 50-point lead he had on him or something like that. Now they just do that at the midway marker. It means nothing right now.
No, it really doesn't mean anything, but it's just, hold on, I'll pull it up right now, actually, if I can zoom in a little bit here. Hold on.
You can't.
Let me just do this. Get the screen share all set up and ready to go. Hold on a moment. Let me get this right here. There it is. All right, cool. So, just so you guys can see what we're doing. Hold on, let me get that out of the way and that out of the way real quick. So this is just what Dan sent in our group chat earlier, talking about who's the MVP so far. And then Joel Emiid leading with 45 votes. So pretty comfortable, but again, we'll see how the rest of the season goes from there. But
can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you get MVP players in back-to-back seasons in different sports? Like that's nuts. Like Bryce Harper.
Oh, Bryce Harper and
Harper. Has that ever happened? Like back to seasons?
1980.
Yeah, I was gonna say I knew it.
Who was it that year?
Mike Schmidt and I think it was Dr. J.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That was a while ago. My goodness. Let's see. There was another comment I wanted to see here. 215 Philly says, what if Tobias Harris balls out with James Harden?
It's quite possible.
I mean, it's definitely possible for sure. I mean, you saw his production go up when we got Jimmy here, so I don't see why you can't
it's
be
not even so much Jimmy. Is that like, can he be the Tobias Harris he was last year? Mm-hmm. Like, if he's, I think he was way better last year than he was the Jimmy year.
Right.
You know, because they actually figured out the role for him of what to be, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm going to be like the guy. No, don't be the guy.
Well, you had a guy, and this is what's going to be the difference when Harden is actually playing, because he can distribute like Ben does.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that was a big reason. Yeah, that was a big reason why Tobias had a good year last year. He had a lot of open looks, then hit him in the right spots.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to take time, but there's no reason as long as Tobias is, not just ice cold and playing like a scrub, he should be fine. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't need to be the second guy anymore, which is the
No,
big
which is right.
thing, you know.
Which
You
is
might be
huge.
able to be the fourth guy, depending on how Maxey develops.
That's true.
Yeah. And actually, thank you for reminding me, Pete, because I did have this stat up earlier because ESPN, when they were interviewing Maxey, they put a graphic up, and I just want to go over it. Let's just go over Maxey's averages from his rookie year last year. So points per game, 8 points, assists per game, 2, rebounds per game, 1.7, 3-point percentage was 30%. Now this season for Tyrese Maxey in his second year, he's averaging 16.9 points, 4.6 assists, 3.5 rebounds per game, and nearly 40% from 3. So definitely a huge jump from his rookie year to his second season. And we're still going on. So, and I really think he's going to be special. I really do. And I'm not just saying that because I love the kid. I think he's really, really going to be special, develop into something special. And you're kind of seeing it right now in a way to where we saw last night during the Bucks game that James Harden was kind of mentoring him in a sense. If you saw that on the sideline, he was coaching him up a little bit, which is nice to see. And then he saw Embiid last night hit Harden's shot, which I thought was hilarious. But let's see. We got some other comments here. Gardner Minshew, Sixers have that number 2 superstar. They should win it all. No excuses. I'm not going to say no excuses, Gardner, but I mean, would I be happy if they won it all this year? Absolutely. Because then if we won it this year, I think we could absolutely run it back the following year. So if that happens, absolutely sign me up. But I don't want to get my expectations too high per se, but I think they can at least make it to the finals. I'm not going to say they win. I'm not going to say they win it all. They surely could, but will they? I don't know. I think that's yet to be seen.
Can we stop for a second too? And so, Wednesday, I was listening to Tom and them. And there was a lot of people in the chat, and I don't want to call Greg out if Greg was, I know he's not a big fan of Harden, but I'm pretty sure he was on this too, that Harden is just not, he's not a playoff performer. Like he's never been a playoff performer.
Yeah,
like his numbers are not great in the playoffs.
They're great.
And I know Greg like looks up stats and stuff. So like I know like he knows. Like it's ridiculous what he's done. Like at the end of the day, like his playoff numbers speak for themselves.
Yep.
I mean, he's averaging 28, 29 a game in the playoffs from, let's just say 2013 to 2019, 2020 when he last played in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his numbers were down last year in Brooklyn, but he played 6 games and he was playing with Kyrie and KD. So he's not going to average a lot of points.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's still going to be productive, and I think he's obviously going to have his nights. Same thing with Joel, but I'm just really curious to see how they distribute the basketball. That's what I'm more intrigued about because everyone's worried about Joel Embiid's numbers going down and that whole thing, which is understandable. But I don't think they're going to go down much at all, to be honest with you. I really don't think so. And people have been saying, "Oh, James Harden's a selfish player; he needs the ball." Even though he's averaging 10.9 assists per game.
Second in the league in assists a game. He's second in the league.
And they want to call him selfish with the basketball.
I mean, he's an ISO player. So yeah, when he has the ball and he's trying to score, he is going to dribble and he's going to isolate. But like, he's not just one of these guys who's going to neglect his teammates. Like it's, I don't know. I don't understand that logic. I think.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. Unless people just haven't watched him since Houston. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
People haven't.
And a lot of those years he didn't. Yeah, a lot of those years prior to them getting Chris Paul. I mean, I know they got.
If Harden is selfish, what was Kobe Bryant? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. But my whole thing is too, and people are like, "Oh, James Harden hasn't won anything." I'm like, listen. If Chris Paul doesn't get hurt that year, the Rockets win it. I don't care what anybody says. If Chris Paul doesn't get hurt that year, that's you can wrap that up in a bow.
Even that though, if you look at the 2 games that they lost,
Mm-hmm.
that Chris Paul was out when he didn't play Game 6 and Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden nearly got them a W in either one of these games, like just from himself performing.
Right.
I mean, he literally had nobody else, with him.
Yeah. Yep.
At that point.
Yeah, Clint Capella.
Yeah.
Clint Capella. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Real quick, there was one other comment I wanted to pull up real quick. Where is it? Oh, there it is. What's up, Priz?
What's up, Priz? The Mighty Trio.
The Mighty Trio. I love it. And guys, you see that little circle around Prison's name? It's because he's an A2D member, and you can become an A2D member too. Just for only $9.99 a month. Excuse me, $9.99 a month. Perks include appearances on shows, members only live streams, shout outs, weekly sports picks from Money Pop Podcast and Willie Vegas. Listen, you want to make some serious money, huh? We've been telling you for a while, and a lot of the members can even tell you. Nate's made us a lot of money. Wilson's made us a lot of money with the fantasy picks. So if you're not with us now, you better hop on because you're missing out on a lot of potential money. That's all I'm gonna say. So what's up, Todd? Prison says watching the Stars and Hawks. Nice, there you go. But there was something that Dan did bring to my attention earlier today that I think we should discuss because I think it's an interesting conversation. And it was, where do the Philadelphia 76ers stack up against the 2000-2001 Sixers?
They would beat the living fuck out of them.
You think?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? So Embiid's gonna destroy Mutombo. He's just Mutombo tear his ACL after 2 games.
Yeah, because Mutombo was later in his career. Yeah, that's true.
Obviously would cook Matisse, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Harden's gonna obliterate McKee, and then Geiger and Tyrone Hill they're not even gonna be able to handle Tobias Harris and then whoever else you fucking throw out there.
Yeah,
And also AI would keep trying to go to the lane, and Joel would just chop him every time.
What do you think, Dan?
I mean, when I was talking about this, I wasn't thinking they're playing one another.
Oh, okay.
Just more or less constructed wise. Obviously, Harden and Embiid kind of trump anything, on that team in terms of, it's just Iverson in terms of star power. I heard Pete bringing up Mutombo, coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was on his decline at that point. He was an all-star that year, but it was basically just off of merit. It was merit. It was his name. It's tough. I would say in terms of a bench, they did have good bench pieces.
They did.
I mean, you look at the names and you'll be like, what? What do you mean they had good bench pieces?
Matt Harpering. I will love Matt Harpering.
Nah, he wasn't on that team.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'll run off the names real quick. I got to read for you. Rajah Bell. He actually he turned into a really good player.
Yeah, he did.
Once he left here. Rodney Buford.
Oh my god.
Matt Geiger. Tyrone Hill.
Matt
obviously
Geiger.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Jones.
This year's he retired.
Jermaine Jones is another guy. He had a cup of coffee here and he left, and he had a couple good years once he left here.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Kukoc.
Okay.
George Lynch. Todd McCullough. You got Aaron McKay. Some of these guys here were not actually playing at all.
Tony was actually.
Huh?
Tony wasn't actually here during the finals run.
No, he wasn't. He was traded with the I think he was actually packaged because Theo's on this list too.
Yeah,
They-
he was
they played
traded.
in
He
the
was traded with Theo to the Hawks.
yeah. But still, I mean these are all guys that were on the active roster that year. So in some sort of way, they contributed to them having a 54-28 record, which was 4th in the entire league. So
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy to look at that roster because it was just one guy, especially nowadays, and think that they were able to make it that far.
Yeah. Because AI carried them. That's the crazy thing.
And I mean, they really just ran into a powerhouse. Like I mean, who knows if they don't run into the Lakers that year? Like, who knows? What
They could
happens,
win it. Yeah, absolutely.
you know?
If it was any other team, yeah, sure. But yeah, you went up against the greatest duo in NBA history, so it's kind of tough.
I mean, I feel like they should honestly in the playoffs too. They shot their load because the Lakers didn't. The Lakers hadn't lost a single game. They lost one game the entire playoffs, and it was game 1 of the finals,
right,
to us. And the Sixers, literally went through back-to-back series, 7-game series with Toronto and then Milwaukee. So it was literally the exact opposite in terms of being able to have rest and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Not that would have really mattered. Really, I'm not making excuses, but
No,
it doesn't help.
I'm trying to remember. Was it that year or was it the year after with Vince Carter's missed shot?
That was that
year.
It was that year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He came back. He that day he went to Carolina to graduate, and
oh right, yeah. I forgot about that. Yep.
I think they both had. I think Iverson and him both had 40 points that game.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But
let's see. There was another comment I want to look at real quick. Prism says, would Doc get excuses? He didn't have Harden for a full year. If they fall short.
I say no, but
I don't think so either. It depends too how short you're talking about. Are you talking like they have another second round exit, or make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and they look like shit?
I think if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they look like shit, he gets another year.
Yeah,
I think if it's a second round exit, and I mean, I honestly, I would hate this, but I honestly feel like even if it's a 7-game series in the second round, I could potentially seeing it getting run back just because of the fact that you did get Harden in the middle of the season. And they could kind of push it off like, all right, well, they didn't really get adequate time to play together, to get comfortable with one another.
Right.
We'll give one more shot. As much as I wouldn't want that to happen, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, if they come up short in the second round, then yeah, I think Doc's gone. But again, I don't have any expectations that this team's gonna lay an egg in the second round. So, let's get into buyout options, because obviously, before we get into that, second topic of the night is brought to you by eXp Realty. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Looking for a change in career or brokerage? Contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty, LLC at 302-682-8820. Visit him at allen.foy@exprealty.com. Again, the phone number is 302-682-8820. If you're looking to buy and sell a home, contact Alan Foy. That's our guy. But the buyout market. I know Doc. I know Daryl went on a podcast earlier this week saying that they're close to making a big move as far as the buyout market goes. So I don't know if that's him posturing, because he said that 3 days ago and we still haven't heard anything yet. So
he said he couldn't announce it yet. What's today's date?
Today's date
18th.
is
18th is when they can officially announce buyout signees.
Okay.
Who's your theory? Everyone give a guy.
I think it's Derek Favors.
I think
If
it's
he,
Lopez.
if he gets bought out,
I think it's Robin Lopez.
So do I. I think it's Lopez.
Oh my God, you got.
I hope not.
What do you mean? Why? Why not?
I said I hope not.
Why?
You really think Robin Lopez is the answer at backup?
No,
center?
I don't think he's
As
the
a
answer.
backup big, he's fine. He's basically Drummond, like who's
He is
better
not.
offensively.
He's not Drummond
No, I'd rather have Drummond.
at all.
I mean, I think he just replaces him. That's basically what he does. Like this whole thing.
He's a player. If you watch him constantly, he's a player that will make you want to rip your hair out.
Yeah, he's streaky. He's real streaky. And when he makes bad plays, he makes really bad.
He doesn't get technicals like Dwight did last year, but he'll have at least one boneheaded play game.
Oh yeah,
that just pisses you off, and I'm good on that.
Yeah, but like I just think he's so much better than Favors. Like I rather
Absolutely not.
I disagree.
Oh, that's fair.
I'll take Favors. But what do you think's more important? Another backup big to back up Embiid or another shooter? I think we need another shooter. That's just my opinion.
I think you can get both, honestly.
I mean, you can, but which would you prioritize? I guess is my question.
Like, is the option like, okay, you can get Robin Lopez or Dennis Schroeder or Gordon Dragic? I'd be like, I'll go with the shooter.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have a shooter. That's just me. I need another shooter off the bench.
Especially if you get someone like let's say you go out and you get a Schroeder or you get a Gordon Dragic, then things get very interesting when it comes to Maxey because they can possibly start and maybe you move Maxey to your 6-man role.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the complete opposite. They need a backup center.
You think so?
Without question. You
Okay.
can't have B-ball Paul playing in the playoffs. You can't have Charles Bassey playing in the playoffs. As much as I know Frank loves him. You just can't do it. Like, we've already seen what's happening to this team prior years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Greg Monroe here. And
I wrote that.
yeah. Like, we need a backup for him that's going to be serviceable. I mean, if Lopez is my only option and I can't get anybody else, then yeah, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him here.
No, he's not like
But
my
I-
number one priority. No.
But I'd rather have him here than a guard. If
That's
I can
fair.
only have one player.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I would love to have both.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I
love
get
to have
both?
I mean, maybe. But then you'd have to get rid of oh my God, what's his name? We just traded for him too. What the fuck?
Paul Millsap.
Yeah, you'd have to get rid of Millsap, which isn't an issue, but
I'm fine with that.
yeah, you'd have to get rid of Millsap and then probably someone else. But I'm not really sweating it. Let's see. Seth says we need to.
He's not going to get bought out.
No, Eric Gordon's not. Gary Harris.
Maybe.
Says those are his top options. I mean, Gary Harris is interesting, but yeah, like Dan said, Eric Gordon's not going anywhere. I don't think so anyway.
If Harris gets bought out, I would actually take him before a guard because they need something at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Matisse and his just inability to hit wide open shots and have any kind of offensive game
Mm-hmm.
is scary. Like I don't know. They're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, literally, they couldn't play him last night.
No, not at all.
Like that was a big. Like you saw that game and you literally saw. And I give Doc credit because he noticed it and he immediately adjusted to it. And I don't know how many minutes he played last night, but he hardly played it, if at all, after the majority of the first quarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that would be after center. That would probably be my next step if you can get him.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love that. Let's see here. There was another one. Troy H says Tyreek Evans as an option.
No.
He hasn't played in 2 years.
I heard people talking about that. I'm just like, he hasn't played in 2 years. Not to mention the fact that he wasn't good. He wasn't really good when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Not the last couple of years he played. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to bring in a guy who hasn't played in 2 years.
Who's that 45-year-old shooter people went here a few years ago? He was super fucking old.
I have no clue.
I can't remember the fucker's name.
He was in his 40s.
He's in his 40s and late 30s, early 40s, and people were like, "Oh my god, he lights out shooter."
Yeah, I have no clue. I can't
remember his name.
Troy H also adds, we need another shooter. We beat the Bucks last night with 4 shooters around Joel.
Yeah,
fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many different directions they can go, but it sounds like Daryl Morey already has a guy. It's just a matter of who it actually is. But I think we'll hear that come after All-Star Weekend, probably before February 25th, which, by the way, next week's going to be a huge, huge show. Little James Harden debut live reactions. So
The USFL draft.
Is that the same day?
I don't think it's the same day. I know it's next week. Which I just want to say, the Stars are robbed. How dare they fall to 3? They should have been 1. This is bullshit.
Oh my god, the league just started. And Pete's already
also, those are some fire ass uniforms. That's just some sexy red right there.
I haven't seen them yet.
They're honestly really cool looking.
I thought the majority of the jerseys in that league were as generic as they could be.
It's a first-year league. What do you expect?
I'm saying.
Pizza the
generic as hell. I mean, you can do that's fine. I'm not hating on it.
Using a bunch of shit from the 80s.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so let's see here. Yeah, the uniforms are kind of generic. I don't hate them though, but
I like the Stars uniform. I thought they were kind of cool.
Hills 1190 says Lopez has a signature hook shot that will get annoying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's absolutely a good point.
Especially when he's clanking them all over the place.
Ted S did Goran Dragic.
There we go, Ted.
He's probably going to Dallas.
Maybe. I did hear rumblings about that, so that's definitely a possibility. Troy also says Robin Lopez and Enes Kanter are trash. You're not wrong.
Kanter, yes. No, Lopez, I don't think so. I think Lopez is solid.
Lopez is okay. What's up, Molly Mall? Molly Mall says Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford, thank you. Yeah, Kanter's too busy being a failed TV star. Says, yeah, Corver's son hit his late 30s. No, not Corver. Corver was actually good. It was Jamal Crawford to where they're like, so it was they're like, oh my God, Jamal Crawford is like 40%.
Todd's not a fan of the USFL.
You have to say anything. Okay? It's USFL time. All right, the NFL is done right now. Okay,
is it though? I don't know.
He said it's USFL time.
Yes, it's USFL time.
It's USFL time. Goodness gracious.
Number 3, Todd. We got the 3rd pick. Let's go. There's room on the Stars bandwagon.
No, you know what? I think it's funnier that it's like a one-man boat and you're just leading.
It is. I
think it's so much fun.
I think if it wasn't football, a sport that literally has a handful of games played during a week, literally nobody would care about it, because it's essentially what it's going to be is, and I think we talked about this in the group chat. It's going to be a minor league football.
Oh, sure.
Hey, we get a WNBA Philly team. I'll rope that in the conversation too. I'll get creative.
All right.
I'll get
fun with
creative and shit. Be like, oh man, look what was on. It's like, you know who else is on? The WNBA on Tuesday nights.
catch me watching it. I can tell you
I
that.
don't give a shit if watch a sign.
Sign Ursan Ilyasova trade.
No,
I would die.
Honestly,
Honestly, but that's the perfect thing. You got a big, and then you got a shooter, which is exactly how I think we should go this year.
I don't hate Ilyasova, but he's.
Oh,
okay.
I mean,
He's in there.
I hate it now, knowing that we got rid of Jeremy Grant for him.
Yeah. That says okay. Make it another cup of coffee. And for the record, I'm watching the Rising Star game in the background. This is
Rising
awful.
Sun.
This is terrible.
Communism up there.
Oh shit! We have a special guest dropping in. James Harden Beard says, "What's up?"
Hey, James Harden's beard has the strip club.
Yeah. Well, which one? There's a couple.
You think
No.
he's going to cheerleaders, or is he
Corey,
going?
don't do this to me. Now you're just trying to. No. Fuck Mike Muscala.
Hey,
Fuck
Mike
the Moose.
Moose
Got
should
us
have
Maxey, man.
Moose should have his jersey retired in the Raptors next to Matt Geiger's.
That's true.
Matt Geiger.
That's a
Here's
great
why
name,
people
too.
laugh at that. I say it all the time. I said I would retire his jersey. I would hang that fucking shit up there proudly. They're like, why? If
God.
Matt Geiger does not refuse a trade to the
Gracious.
Suns, I believe,
I think
then
you're
Allen
correct.
Iverson gets traded.
I think you're correct. Yeah, it was the Suns.
Fucking Larry Brown. Hey, that Emmanuel Mudiay, he's gonna be a star. I fucking promise.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
Fuck
Oh
you,
my God.
Larry.
These names. Whew. Going back a little bit.
If there's a person on earth I would love nothing more than bitch slap, it's Larry Brown.
Moose is shooting 43% from three.
There we go.
I did not know
bring
this.
Moose home.
Now I need hold on. Now I need context. Hold on. Now I need context. How many shots from three did he actually take though? Now I have to look this up.
69.
He's still playing for OKC. I mean, they're trash. So I mean, I'm
Coming home.
unless he got traded.
Coming home.
According to the Wiki machine, it says he's on OKC. And we all know the Wiki machine never lies.
They're also garbage.
Absolutely.
That's also true. Let's see. 3-point percentage, Mike Muscala. It's 37%, but still. At least according to ESPN anyway.
That's a big difference from 43.
That's a huge difference. Oh, wait, hold on.
That's above.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on a minute. All right, now I'm getting conflicting reports. Hold on. Now I feel like great.
Yeah, he's shooting, according to ESPN, he's shooting.
Go to Basketball Reference.
42.9. That's what he's at right now.
Okay.
42.9.
42.9, which is basically 43.
His career is 37.7. Okay, that's what I don't know why that.
Hey man, I'd take
career
him.
popped up.
I actually liked Mike Muscala when he was here.
I had such a love-hate relationship with Moose. You know what?
Oh, he was so much fun to watch.
What was his name? I liked a lot. For no reason at all. He was a backup center. I can't. He was here like 2 years ago. I can't remember his name.
Tony Allen or
No.
Was he young?
Yeah, older.
Rashawn Holmes.
No, I did like Rashawn Holmes.
I thought he was overrated.
I always liked Rashawn Holmes.
Christian Wood.
No.
Amir Johnson.
I think it was. Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah, you said old, so that makes sense.
It was Amir Johnson.
I had people like
I loved Amir Johnson. I don't know why.
at the heyday, people would always curse me out 24/7 because of my love fest with Amir Johnson, and I was always like, if they're so much better than him, why don't they play?
Yeah, I always liked Amir Johnson.
I'd rather watch Amir Johnson play than Joel Okafor.
Well, yeah, guy doesn't play like a defense, so.
I mean, the guy doesn't play much at all, so what's the matter?
Troy says attempting 4 points a game. Talking about Moose.
Yeah, he's taking about 4 threes a game. I'm looking at it right now on Basketball Reference, and he's
It's
hitting
true, but
1.5.
he
a
says
game,
the Thunders
so.
actually have guard play. That's something we didn't have when we had Moose. Yeah. Troy also says James Ennis.
Ew. God.
I'm good. I'm okay. You're
another
shooting
guy
too
like
low,
Danny.
Troy.
Yeah, he's another guy like Danny Green. I don't want to see him.
I'd rather have
dribbling the ball
Danny. Yeah,
ever.
I'd rather have Danny Green than James Harden.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying he's
Danny
like
Green
Danny
helps
Green with dribbling the ball. I don't want to see either one of them dribbling the ball.
No doubt at all. But yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways that they can go, and but I just want to know because Daryl's already jerking the chain, being like, "Oh, well, we have someone. We just can't say who it is."
I mean, he literally pretty much all but said it's going to be a center.
Yeah.
Or is it only a center, or not? Or is it multiple guys? Mwahaha.
Now Troy's just getting cute. Imagine if AI comes out of retirement. Stop.
And does what?
Yeah.
Did you see him on the sidelines like a week
Dude,
ago?
he was baked eating popcorn.
Oh my god.
He was baked.
You had motherfuckers. remember, you had motherfuckers for like 3 weeks ago. Oh, he's gonna come out and coach.
No.
I'm the biggest AI fan you'll ever had. I bought these fucking sneakers that were 2 sizes too big. That's how much I loved his ass.
I'm happy you mentioned that. Hold on.
But AI is not a coach. He can't do it. Like
I have his, what do you call it? I have his sneakers right here.
Nice. I had the white ones.
I might get another pair because you know what? These are actually people want to talk shit about Reebok. These are the comfiest shoes I've ever had. The AIs. These are so comfy.
I mean, they don't even want him to be in the organization in terms of like.
Yeah, that's the other crazy thing. So I don't know.
I only think it's that. It's just like they just know he's going to come and go. Like there's no point in even giving him any real position because they're just like, oh, cool, you're going to come here every once in a while. That's super. They're not going to give him any position where he has to be counted on.
Just like your damn USFL. I can't count on that to be entertaining worth a damn.
USFL is back, baby.
Dan, if I was colorblind, I would really hate watching the USFL. Then how the hell are you able to really tell about those uniforms, man? Because
I'm just looking at it, like looking at the design of them, they look pretty generic to me. I mean, I'm also trying to base it off of like NFL jerseys, which I'm sure isn't fair. I know that.
Man, the XFL had better jerseys than so
I
don't want to hear that.
The XFL was they also put like $600 million into it, so
I don't care. I've seen high school jerseys now that has better uniforms. All right, I don't want to hear that garbage.
I don't watch football for the uniforms.
At least I don't even watch USFL.
Wait, so how much money do they put in the USFL?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Exactly.
Come on now. I know McMahon put close to he put a fuck ton of money.
Who did?
McMahon when he put with the XFL. I know he put.
I thought you were saying he put money into the USFL.
No,
how the fuck would he do that?
Fox did.
Yeah. I see that they got all their shit.
That's how I know this venture is not failing. Fox put their real money and shit. I'm like,
So the USFL, at least according to this article, the USFL is getting $150 million investment from Fox over the next 3 years. So,
yep.
And you mean to tell me you couldn't get an Under Armour deal to make sure you have damn good jerseys?
$150 million over 3 years.
That's not a lot of money. That's $50 million a year. That's really
that's why they're only playing in one stadium in Alabama.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll also argue is that they looked at what happened with the XFL with the COVID outbreaks and things like that. And also places like, what was it, LA, that just did not, because everywhere else in the XFL did well financially, like ticket sales, other than the fucking LA teams.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably looking at that and be like, Alabama's a diehard football team. They'll buy tickets to whatever as long as it's fucking football. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And they pretty much just make sure, like, if we have majority of all of our teams wearing red, at least you can show up wearing red and you'll be okay.
Yep, Bama.
Because there was only like 3 other teams that had completely different colors. Everybody else had some kind of red in their damn uniforms. And you talking about the Philadelphia Stars uniforms? It looked like a little kid just took ketchup and mustard and mixed it together.
It's okay, we're getting great football. Let's go, USFL.
Oh Lord, Pete,
I'm telling you, if the Stars make it to their version of the Super Bowl this year, or is it the Birmingham Bowl? I always forget what they're calling it. Yeah. I will drive down to Alabama and watch
start a parade.
Start
See,
parade. Get right.
It'll be a one-man parade.
and you'll be the only one out there, just like the LA Rams damn Super Bowl
It'll
parade.
be a damn good time. It'll be a damn.
I
good
mean,
time.
Philly might
Serious?
be able to get a bigger parade for that than the fucking Rams did for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
hey, we Philadelphia did celebrate the Arena Football League championship bigger than what the Rams did. I mean, that just tells you.
Yeah,
That was pretty
Villanova's
sad.
championship got more people.
Oh, absolutely.
It's LA. They don't care about any other sport. That's not.
Yeah, they only care about basketball and the Dodgers.
and
That's it.
occasionally hockey.
Occasionally, yeah, exactly. I like how you threw that in there. Occasionally,
I did.
But no, about the
That's why the Wayne Gretzky trade is the greatest in sports. It made LA actually care about hockey.
yeah, right. We got the goat.
but is there any surprising players that's on the buyout, or is it like all the players are on that list, or anybody that can sneak and be a buyout?
It's just kind of like whoever's left is left. Like there's no big names per se that are like, oh my god, how's he?
Yeah,
I mean, anybody could jump on there. To be fair,
Yeah,
Like,
anybody
Yeah,
could.
that's what I was
John
like.
Wall.
Like any
John Wall's
rumbling
refused
coming
it.
around.
Yeah, I mean, John Wall has refused it for a while.
Mhm.
But Houston's obviously been willing to do it because of his massive contract this year and next year.
Is he still
so-
injured, John Wall? No.
No, he's healthy. He hasn't
wow.
played all year just because him and the team agreed that he wouldn't play because, like I guess the Ben Simmons thing, like to the degree like they had disinterest in whatever the situation.
I got you.
But
Well, I mean, we definitely need another big man. I was saying get out of my head, Dan, because you know that Bucks game definitely we could have used another wing player.
Yeah,
it definitely showed like a glaring weakness. It won't, I don't know who we could bring in, but it's definitely like one of those weaknesses that it could be spotted early. I don't know how we can mask that or try to cover that one up. So it's
I mean, it's literally been all year. Like that's the sad thing about it. Like there's been spotty patches, obviously, where you can rely on Matisse. Matisse will obviously be pretty great with you every night with defense. Besides biting on plays.
exactly.
And
but
then,
when it comes to the
Danny.
offense, it's
Yep.
I get worried. And just like Lopez, it's Thibault is definitely streaky. It's
Gerald Green.
one is
Green.
oh Lord.
But him and his 9.5 fingers.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had an extra finger.
That got caught on a fucking shitty rim.
Not an extra finger.
I mean, look, our bench it's nothing to praise about. So at the end of the day, like the likelihood, unless we get Gary Harris in here, if Gary Harris comes in here, honestly, he can start at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because he
can
give you 15 a night.
Whatever keeps some Thibault on my bench, I'm cool.
But
I mean, I would Harris. If we get Harris, then I'll be all about. I'll be like, okay, go get Lopez. All right, it's definitely that'll be like that extra body, so it will help. I won't complain if we got Harris.
Oh no,
I was like, I can live with it.
Oh, I could totally live with that. Absolutely.
So
yeah, I wouldn't be against it whatsoever.
But
not be against it at all.
March 2nd, everything.
Favors would be great too.
If these guys aren't signed by March 2nd, then they're not eligible for playoff rosters. So
yeah, he's shooting. Gary Harris shooting 38% from 3 and 84.8% from the line. So that's not bad.
What is it? 84% from the line.
Nope. Yeah, 84.8.
Okay. And what is he from 3?
38.
30. Okay.
That's not
bad. League average. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's average. So
I mean, it's like triple what Thibault has. So
Well, that's also.
His,
What
like-
did he have the other night? He had like a point or something the other night.
Last night.
Yeah.
I don't
Something.
even know if I don't even know if he had a point, but yeah,
Something.
I'm actually going
did
to
he
pull it
have
up.
just
So I'm
a
kind of
3?
curious now how
this
many
is
minutes
from-
he actually played.
This is from 3 days ago. Gary Harris posted 15 points, 6 of 12 field goals, 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. I take that.
I'll take that all day.
I take
Yeah, I'll
that.
take it.
You know,
For a league average, yeah, I'm not against it at all.
but what we really need is the Moose.
Muscala. Brian Daly from the Hockey Happy Hour. Yeah, I don't
AKA
know.
Tyrese Maxey's
There's a
favorite
couple.
person.
There's a couple different.
But oh
ways to
yeah,
go about it.
I love if you're not on the A2D family on Facebook or on Facebook, putting up the whole Spider-Man comparison with Harden and Maxey. I mean, come on, that's brilliant because I mean that just Harden just being there for that first practice. I mean, you can't say that it didn't make an impact for that game last night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
actually seeing
somewhere.
Embiid actually doing that little step back, that I was like, how did Embiid, for one, learn it that fast and then execute it right in the game and not get a travel?
He's been working on it. He's been working on it.
He did get a travel
He
when they
did.
played Boston.
Exactly, but that's what
I
I'm
saw
saying.
that
Like,
live, but
That's
he
what
got
it
in for
was.
Boston, but he was like, okay, back to the draw. Like, and Harden was like, okay, you got to. He's like, you got to pull up right as soon as you kind of make that second move. And he nailed it. I was like, oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Mhm. Well,
So,
the fact that Embiid got it, I'm like, wow, okay.
yeah.
Exactly.
So Matisse played 14 minutes last night.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
He had 0 points. He had a block, 1 assist, and 1 rebound.
That's what it was. It was 1 assist. That's what it was. Okay.
And basically, like I said, he had 14 minutes. Danny Green had 13. Basically 14. And then Shake Milton had 13. Everybody else pretty much had more minutes than him on the court. So
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well, anybody welcome back Al Horford because of that contract?
I don't want him because of his sister.
I don't want his
either.
bitch ass. I don't want his
Thank
bitch
you.
ass sister back here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
He's
want to
the
deal
devil.
with his sister. I don't want to deal with his sister whatsoever.
That's what happens when you have a family member that goes way too far, a la Patrick Mahomes' brother.
And his fiance, wife, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Michael Vick's brother.
Yeah, the family members that's like, oh, my family members playing this league, but I gotta support them and make sure my name is as big as them. Man, sit your ass down, buy your ticket, and eat some popcorn and shut the fuck up.
The perfect athlete family member is the family member you don't know what they sound like or what they look like. It's like a neighbor that you've never met. I've never met my neighbors. I literally jokingly call them the Obamas because I'm like, that's who they can fucking be. You know what? Maybe Barack's moved back there. I don't fucking know about it. It's a great fantasy because I don't want to meet those motherfuckers. It's the same. It's the same thing.
She's certifiably crazy though. If you
maybe they want to.
His fiance.
They don't want to meet you, Pete.
Oh yeah.
You know they got a glimpse of you probably talking on his cell phone.
Did you guys see the video of him at the basketball game?
Yeah, where Patrick told her to be quiet.
Yeah, but then did you see her face after she turned away?
Yeah, she basically said "fuck you" to Patrick.
But she's making crazy. You look at her eyes, man. There's something wrong with her.
She's nuts.
Oh, I did not see that.
Nuts. Yeah, she's nuts.
I pray to God that he has a prenup in whatever endeavor he has got going on with her.
Hey, better hope so.
She's
most
about
likely
to take
not.
half.
Oh, she's absolutely. She's gonna try and take it all. That's what she's gonna try and do.
Yeah, that was is she giving those kind of looks after Patrick's telling her to shut up? Yeah, it's.
He got the money first.
Over.
That's all that matters. He got the money first.
Yeah.
I watched Adam Family's Values. I'm sorry.
I mean, technically that doesn't matter though in a lot of ways, especially nowadays.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't matter when he got the money because once you're married, it's
technically
your money. It's their money. It's not his money.
All depends on what state you're in.
That's true too. Yeah, I don't know
Just
what
saying.
the All-Stars are.
Better
If
safe
you-
than sorry.
if
I would
you
have
live in
a prenup. You got hundreds of millions of dollars.
If you're in California, you're fucked. That's a no-fault state, friends.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you're right.
You don't. There's not that many states, Pete. So it's.
You're in Well, no, you're in California. It doesn't matter what happens. You divorce, 50%, right down the middle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Please, if you want to even break it down further, look at how much you're losing on Rancho Cucamonga in California. I know a lot of Marines that got married in Rancho Cucamonga, and they got ate alive.
Yeah, no-fault state, man. Ain't nothing to fuck with.
That's crazy.
It's like it doesn't matter what it is. Like other states, it's like if there's signs of abuse or cheating or anything, it's like it can go up and down. But no fault state doesn't fucking matter. Like you can get caught like fucking the grandpa. It doesn't matter. 50-50, baby.
What a mess.
KD's mom. And speaking of KD, I really want to know how KD really feeling about Ben Simmons, because that
He ain't happy. He ain't happy.
that presser was ridiculous.
He ain't happy. You could tell during the All-Star draft, KD wasn't happy. I mean, part of it had to do with James Harden too, but even when Barkley asked him about it, he's like, "They're my teammates. I'm gonna support them." I'm like, "Oh, that's a ringing endorsement."
Support your squad.
Yeah.
I mean, KD is he has the worst poker face I've ever seen, because he's trying to not look like his
Anyone who's
dislike,
seen him on Twitter can agree with that.
Yeah, you know when he's mad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, what are they doing now? They're revealing all the NBA All-Stars. Is that what they're doing? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but
Nah, it's still the rising. So I think they broke them up. Yeah, I think they broke them up in between. This year they did it differently. They broke them up into like 4 teams. And,
Really?
Yeah, they played a 50. The first game is already over, and then
okay.
this
it's
game's
just
the
what?
50.
It's just
So
a quarter?
It's like the NHL All-Star game now, where like I said, you play 2 games to 50, and then the winner of those 2 games meet in the final or whatever.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's a way
unless
to
I
balance
misunderstood
out,
what
keep
they were
everybody
saying,
healthy.
but
okay, that's one way to keep everybody kind of healthy and not really wear everybody down.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it
still
really
All-Star
gives
break.
everybody a chance to play. To be honest with you,
Yeah, gives everybody a chance to shine. It doesn't sound too bad. I might need to check it out.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's on right now, but it's nothing crazy. They're only doing what, Dan? 2 quarters, right? I think it's 2 quarters.
no, it's just it's to 50 points. It's not.
Is that how they're doing
there's
it?
no
Okay.
time limit. Yeah, there's
So
no,
just
there's no running
like a
clock.
pickup game.
Yeah,
Okay,
I shouldn't say there's no running clock. There's obviously a shot clock, but it's not no minute quarters or anything. Just to 50.
Yeah.
You know what else you should check out? The USFL on April 16th.
Oh Jesus! Sit down, Pete. God damn it.
That's a Saturday, isn't it?
They should hire me. I've already started tweeting at them. I said, you guys should hire me for promotional stuff.
I mean, like I said, I mean, we all support you in your one-man band, but hot damn, it's still like after seeing those uniforms, I'm like, I'd rather wait till YouTube show me the highlights.
Oh, please. I watched the fucking AAF, and that was like 3,000 times worse than anything.
Oh God, the AAF.
It's like great concepts, awful fucking football.
No, I will support the LFL all day, every day. I'll support that.
Fair.
I got my girl in Atlanta from Atlanta Steam, Diana Wiskowski. Woo, boy, that's a Polish pole right there, man. She's sexy and she's a center.
Polish pole.
The Polish pole.
Oh,
the Polish pole.
Hey, she's 6'7", man. What else she gonna be, man?
That's a Polish pole. She's riding the pole. Like,
that's what. Hey, I didn't say what she gonna be riding. I just say, hey, I want to ride that ride. I want to slide down her pole.
All right, Troy H is hilarious.
Yeah, Troy. We never said Greg was one for common sense, but that's.
I just laughed at my best friend. My best friend's name is literally Troy H. So that makes every time I see this guy's handle, it makes me laugh a little bit.
Maybe it is your friend Troy H.
I don't think so. He does not know a lot about basketball.
Oh. Maybe to your face, he doesn't.
I mean, as a former Friar, he has not disclosed his love of basketball to me.
I'm just saying, a little conspiracy theory, Pete. Just food for your thought. Keep on your toes. Just saying.
Man, but I won't be a one-man band when the LFL starts back up. Is the tryouts are done? They're getting ready to have their draft.
They have a draft?
Todd just shows up. I'm ready for the draft.
They have like, but it's not like a televised or anything like that. You just they pretty much setting up the rosters. Like that's how they do like their draft. Like they do it all their tryouts, and like certain teams will like go ahead and have their rosters. But you talking about free agency? That's crazy. Once a team is eliminated, the teams that's in the playoffs can poach right off the other person's team. It does, and all players are free game.
Oh my god!
They can play that game. They can play that game.
Yeah, like. Yeah, they can bring them on. It pretty much it's you could either release a player or drop them to their bench and pick up a star player.
You could have a super team by the end of the year.
Just about. Like I think you can only do like 3 to 4 players.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
thought you were talking about you can bring them from every team once they're eliminated.
Oh no, but I mean, like if you can do enough damage though, like with 3 of the players, like it's enough. But those girls go hard, man. I support the LFL. If y'all want to see some real crazy ass hits, watch that.
I used to catch it when I was in like high school, but I just haven't paid attention. But weird transition, but it works. Around the NFL, oh Lord, weird transition, but again, I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go.
Around the NFL is brought to you by BetUS. BetUS is an online sports book who has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything, including the LFL. Use the link right below. It's in the top, pinned into the top of our comments for 125% sign-up bonus. You can't beat it. 125% sign-up bonus. I put some money in the other night. Bet the money line on the Sixers to beat the Bucks.
Ooh, nice little slide in there, Jay.
A little slider. I put a 30 spot in there. Got a little.
Hey, still got a little something out of it.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll dabble. Little 30 spot.
It wasn't looking good in the first half. I can tell you that much.
No, it wasn't. But again, I got free. They gave me free money, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Right, put 30 on it. Came out on top, so I can't complain. But around the NFL, obviously the stuff going on with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. It's a little interesting. Chris Mortensen was reporting rumors that
I'll take him.
Kyler Murray isn't happy. Cardinals use him as a scapegoat in the loss to the LA Rams, which I don't know how you come to that conclusion, but anyway. And then the Cardinals, somewhere in the Cardinals organization, they were saying they wanted him to go back in the game at the end of the fourth quarter. Kyler Murray's like, no. So it's a whole back and forth between the organization. I don't know. And then obviously the kind of, not necessarily bombshell per se, but you have Carson Wentz who could be on the move again. Was it Philly? Was here in Philly how he trades him and fleeces, it looks like. Looks like he fleeced the Indianapolis Colts, and he could be out after 1 year. So
I had a guy who I follow on Twitter, and we had a huge back and forth. He's like, I don't think you got enough back for Carson Wentz, and I'm like, it looks like a fucking steal now.
Well, hey, I'll start off with Kyler Murray because since you want to talk about you wanted Kyler Murray, Pete, hell to the motherfucking no, because that is millennial type shit, and he's. Yeah, I don't want. I'm like this. I'd rather stick with Jalen Hurts and see if he can develop than try to throw the farm to get Kyler Murray and his. It's.
I'm not saying.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to buy into the stories, but I mean, like, if this is an actual story, I mean, I know he scrubbed like his Instagram of Cardinal stuff, but I'm like, that's childish. I'm like, you are the franchise guy, but you just trying to hurry up and get paid early because you're injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable, but I mean, if that's the way you got to go about it, I mean, that's just sad.
He's missed 2 games in 3 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he's always hurt though. There's always something, and
like,
it always seems to be at the halfway point of the year too. His play makes a significant drop.
I'm not saying that give major assets for him, but you could go like a first and then some. I'd be willing to do it. Like,
you'd probably have to give up multiple first.
Pete, you're a terrible gambler. I can tell that.
Like your character issues that
that's where I'm at. I don't like that either. Yeah, I don't like that either.
And like you seem like you were hard out on Watson. Now I know it's a different kind of character issue, regardless of the situation, Pete.
Yeah, there's 2 massive.
Okay, hold on. But but it's still a character issue at the end of the day. Like I don't care if it's you touching women inappropriately or
you're finger pointing.
Finger pointing. Like, at the end of the day, to me, it's all associated together. I'm not downplaying. I'm not. Can I finish? I'm not downplaying like the whole aspect of what he's done. I got 2 daughters and I'm married. Like, no, hell no. I'd fucking kill him.
That's a good call.
Yeah,
but no, it's all character. It's a character issue. I don't want anything to do with it.
And he wants a contract too. He wants to get paid. That's the other thing. I don't know if I'm willing to pay that. For as talented as he is, I get it, but I can't trust it. That's just me.
I mean, look what he's done in the season though too. Like, you've got back-to-back years where he's balled out in the first half of the year, and then in the second half of the year he plays like complete dog shit.
Or he gets hurt,
or he gets hurt, exactly.
And it's tough too because he's extremely talented. He's a phenomenal athlete, but again, when you're talking about a guy that size, obviously he's shown he can play, but you can only take those kind of hits from 300-pound, 6'7" dudes for so long when you're that size. It's completely.
I mean, Drew Brees did it.
Yeah, but Drew Brees is what do you call it?
Drew Brees, guy.
Yeah, but they're
he's bigger than he's smaller than Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
and that's my whole point, Pete. Because it's like you can't keep comparing apples to oranges and this player to that player. I know we try to use attributes or somebody that's similar, but
I'm not comparing them. But they're just they're similar size. They're not the exact same, but
But that's what I mean. It's I know where you're getting at, but Kyler Murray, for how long he's been in the league, we all seen him at the beginning of the season when he's completely fresh. But after those hits take a toll and it starts to add up, and by the time it's midway November, and you're wondering what everybody's saying the same thing. What happened to the Cardinals? They was off to a hot start. They just fell off a cliff. They're disappearing. They've got injuries, and Kyler Murray's not looking the same. And it's been repeat after when you got 2 seasons back to back and it's the same results. I mean, that's where even the franchise is lingering. I mean, I hate to say it, just like Lamar Jackson. There's certain things if you're the same or keep delivering the same thing, or that's your consistency, you'll start off hot, but then after the hits and the toll, or your body just starting to break down by midway of the season, and you're not really pushing it or keep on delivering. I mean, that's what happened where you, as a franchise guy in that playoff game, even though they had injuries across the board and everything, it's just, you can't show up like that in a playoff game. You just can't. And that's where now the Cardinals are now they're right back to, all right, what do we do at quarterback? And that's what happens when you're if you're constantly chasing after quarterbacks. You keep setting your franchise back, and that's what I don't want for our team. And talking about finger pointing, I mean, hell, we saw what happened with Donovan and T.O. They still going at it.
Yeah,
one guy is still going at it.
Yeah, Terrell's still going at it.
Hey, he'll knock the trumpet tooth out of you.
Terrell's quiet until they ask him about it. It's
And then
McNabb.
he goes off. He always brings it back up at least once or twice every year. He's always good for
that's the funny thing to me is like Terrell can be quiet about it. He can go the rest of his life without talking about it, and then someone will just bring it up, and then he'll get mad.
Like fuck that.
And then, like what's funny is that he was actually quiet about it for a while, and then McNabb started like poking shit, and he's just like, "Really, you're doing that, motherfucker?"
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, see, but that's why I said that's that new, like Patrick Thompson said, hit it on the head. It's just that new age kind of like I'm the star, and if you don't treat me like a star, well, fuck you. Then I'm gonna give you my ass to kiss.
Right.
And it's
I don't
like,
even
no.
think it's a millennial thing though. Like I feel like it's a thing that's been happening for decades. It's just like it because of social media it's so bigger. It's so bigger now. Because think about it, like the Cowboys in the 90s used to be like this. Oh, you're not going to do what the fuck I want? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The only difference is social media wasn't a huge thing back then. You couldn't really report on it.
I mean, like, it didn't happen as much back then, though, either. Let's be real. I mean, it happened back then, but it was very infrequently compared to
you didn't hear about it as much, yeah.
I'm not even saying that. I mean, it still reported shit on ESPN and the news and stuff back then. It just, it didn't happen as frequently as it does now. So like, I do agree that like it still happened like decades ago, like Pete's saying, but I do think it's a millennial thing. Like I do think it's like, it's just the time we're in, and it's the way that certain people are raised and groomed or whatever, however you want to say it. Like,
well, it's definitely a major self-entitlement. I mean, if you don't want, if you want to take away the, I'll take away the millennial part. Is self-entitlement. Like you get some recognition, but it's like they'll run with it. It's like I'm this, and I'm like, are you really that? Like, come on, man. Like you're a rising star. Got it. Understandable. You want to get your money. Got that too. Hey, it's the NFL, not for long. We understand that. But the way they go about it, that's where it's like I can't agree with. Like, because, hey, that's why I'm a Philly fan. Hard work, pays off. Keep your nose to the ground. You're constantly working. That's what you need to do. If you're sitting there screaming that I need my money, or having your agent, or, where stories kind of, it develops out of nowhere, it's like, okay, when there's smoke, there's fire. We know there's something there. We don't know if it's of that extent, but there is a disagreement going on. And of course, when you see the actual franchise go as petty as you are, as delete all your photos too, I'm like, okay, there's something there.
Well, someone in the Cardinals organization, someone in the Cardinals organization is leaking this out too, saying that he's a bad teammate and that whole thing. Someone in the organization saying something. And like you said, Todd, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on.
Absolutely.
Molly Mall has an interesting point as well. He says, I don't trust an organization and media. They can make an athlete look one way in the public, and it can be something completely different behind closed doors. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a fair point. But it looks like both sides are kind of expressing frustration. So there's frustration on both sides.
I mean, they can also do the exact opposite if we're just playing kind of like devil's advocate. Like I've seen, and I've known it's happened many times in professional sports where a player has been, not, working well with a franchise, and it never leaks out because whether it's like a team trying to trade the player or what, like they don't want stuff getting like that out because at the end of the day, what good is that? You're just hurting their trade value.
Yeah.
So if your process is to get rid of player, then leaking information out in terms of saying like, oh, he's a horrible teammate, he's a dickhead, he doesn't really take ownership in terms of like getting better or progressing in terms of, just being a better overall player and teammate. Like what? That's not adding value to the situation, regardless of how good the player is.
I mean, it is definitely like all about leverage, and that's why I always take like the Super Bowl week like media coverage so serious, or like I like to pay attention extra close because you, especially when players actually get a chance to talk, you can see where they like what's going on in their head. Like I know like Chucks and like other Philly, fan bases, keeps on bringing up Russell Wilson. If you caught him during this Super Bowl week, he sounded like he wants to say with the Seahawks. So it's like, what is really true out there? That's why
that he had the list of teams he's willing to go to, and we're not on it.
But I mean,
but that can also
it's hard to believe any of this stuff though. Like with what you just said, Pete, and then what you said too, Todd. Like, I mean, if he like blatantly goes out and says he wants to get traded, if he really is trying to get traded, like I just kind of said, like if you're probably under, let's say he is trying to get traded, like he does want to get traded, and he's doing it like behind closed doors with Seattle, so like hopefully like get them like the full complementary of like pieces that they want. You're more likely to get it like that if you're more likely to get that as opposed to like coming out and blatantly just saying, I want to be traded. I want to get out of Seattle.
And that's where it's like, you got to like, that's why I say when they're right there in front of the camera, they got to be politically correct, but they'll sometimes always let a crack slip.
Sure.
And, dealing like with Rich Eisen or Dan Patrick, like that's where I really like to pay attention because those are veterans. They kind of know how to kind of set up those questions to see like if they make them comfortable. They trust them a little, like they'll trust Rich Eisen or Dan Patrick. They'll, if there's something like bothering them, or they'll like, we seen more players speak their mind when they're on those kind of shows where they're definitely relaxed compared to like, like the team media or like the NFL Network or ESPN, because they're like, hey, I gotta definitely be politically correct because they know those are the kind of programs that will replay it real quick. Like that'll be like a hot topic, or Stephen A will be on First Take and they'll be running with it immediately. So
right.
That's why I'm like, when it comes to that, I always like to pay a little bit extra close attention. But Pete, like when we get closer to like the draft and free agency, we're all going. I'm like this. Everybody going to take a chance of being the Seattle Seahawks GM, and I want to see what you're willing to take, because I guarantee you, I can flip your mind. Just to see how much you're willing to like, what you're willing to give up, pretty much. Like I will see how badly you would like to Russell Wilson, because I could definitely.
I'm out on Wilson. I'm out on Wilson unless it's like a first this year and a first next year. That's it. That's
pretty much like the Washington trade right there. Because I'm like,
that's as high as I'm willing to go. Like I saw a trade where they're like, all right, 15 and 83 this year for Andre Dillard and Hurts for Wilson, and like a third round pick next year, where we get.
If I was the Washington
I think they threw in an additional first round pick.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
So 15, 83, Hurts, Dillard, a first next year for Wilson, and a 2023 third. Yeah, I'd do that. I would do that trade.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's as high as I go.
Right.
All right. If I was the Giants, I'd give you both of my 2 first round picks in this year's draft with Daniel Jones. Would you take that?
If I was Seattle, I'd do that because I have no fucking trade. I have no picks.
Exactly. Like what?
But here's the thing. I'll counter that. Are you ready?
Okay.
If I'm Seattle, right? The East is as wide. I mean, the NFC is as wide open as it ever is. Aaron Rodgers is out. What is it? Jimmy G might be going elsewhere. The Cowboys are a fucking mess like they always are. The GOAT's gone. So that the NFC is wide open. Like, if you're thinking about it, why would I get rid of Russell Wilson right now? because you can just swing it to the fans like, oh, we're going to compete this year. We're going to go out and get pieces.
Yeah.
But that's the other part. But that's the other part. Is like, okay, if you know all that and you trying to trade within the same conference, you're gonna want the farm. Like, I'm like this. Okay, that's why I'm like, hey, the Giants are willing to give up the 2 firsts and Daniel Jones, sweeten up the pot. Like, you're gonna play phone tag with everybody. The Washington Camoles know that they need a freaking quarterback. They ready to pitch the whole farm because they feel like they're there.
I'm at the point where I'm just like, if it happens, cool. All right, I'll deal with it. I get to enjoy Russell Wilson, Bryce Harper, James Harden, and Joel Embiid and everyone else involved. It's going to be a fun fucking time. But on the other side, I'm just like, I don't need to stress about it. I don't need to worry about it. What happens, happens. I'm just not going to be like, oh my God, we're going to trade for Russell Wilson. Has to happen. I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'm not going to lose fucking sleep about it.
Well, it's a pivotal moment for our franchise. It's like, you're never going to have this much draft capital, this much cap space, and like, really, set your franchise for a dynasty. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm sorry, guys. I got to look at it as a dynasty setup right here. This is the foundation that you have to have, and you got to bring in those building blocks because our defense is holy as shit. You can't really go out and spend a shit ton on free agency because you don't want to hurt your cap. If you go out and go make these trades for these veteran quarterbacks, you got to pay them. Like, that's what everybody keeps on forgetting. Like, you got to pay Russell Wilson. You got to pay Derek Carr. You got to pay Aaron Rodgers. Like, yeah, we have the cap space, but that's going to strap you on trying to bring in other players because you're still wholly on defense. I mean, Davion Taylor, as much as he flashed as a linebacker, I cannot trust him.
No.
Fletcher Cox is the $100 million man, but we're already talking about trading him. I mean, Mel Williams flashed, but is he that guaranteed guy yet?
My honest take on all the QBs is I think everyone is there for another year. Like, where Jimmy G might be like the one guy who maybe is moved, but I could also see them riding with him for one more year. I think the smart move is to go into 2023, do what you're doing, make your draft your guys, build up on the defense, get some guys for next year offensively, like a good number 2 wide receiver. And then in 2023, I'm trading one of those picks to have 2 first-round picks in the 2023. If you need to go out and get a Russell Wilson, get a Derek Carr, get a Jimmy G, get whoever else you think is out there, go get them. Like, I don't think there's any major huge QB trade unless the Seahawks offer a package they can't say no to.
Well, I'm willing to just, hey, if I can turn one of these first round picks to a 2023 pick, I'm taking that all day. I'm sorry. It's just, I'd rather ride with, trying to get Bryce Young or McCollum from Ohio State. I can't. I'm terrible with names, but I'd rather go with one of those quarterbacks because at least I know, like, they're young. Like, I'm looking at, will Russell Wilson be in the league as long as Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow now? Like, I mean, take injuries out. Like, who's really going to be in that league long? And I don't want to be right back after 5 years talking about another quarterback. Like, we gotta really go out and get a franchise guy.
So what are we talking about? Sorry, I lost power for a second.
Just free agency, draft, and just so like I've kind of flipped my whole kind of outlook on what I think the Eagles should do. As much as a Hurts guy, I'm not. I think everybody knows here. I'm willing to just ride it out until next year.
One of us.
Because here's my thing. Like, at the end of the day, is there a slight chance he might shock me? And I know his arm ain't going to get better. It is what it is. Like, I've watched him in college. I've watched him in the pros now. It is what it is. But can he make better reads? Can he stop staring down wide receivers? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm willing to bite the bullet and wait another season to at least evaluate it and not jump at a quarterback just because, we so-called think we need it because we can compete right now. Because I don't know if we can. I mean, we probably can't for a lot of the reasons that Todd and Pete just brought up. Like, they are weak on defense. Do I think that you could get like 2 pieces in the offseason and their defense could be immensely better? Depending on who the 2 pieces are, maybe. I mean, you don't think so, and that's fair, Todd. But like,
I'm not.
They weren't horrible last year.
Yeah, it's a stretch.
Yeah,
it's a stretch.
What up, Pete?
What up, Pete?
but like what Pete just said too about like get a second wide receiver to line up against line up opposite of Smith. Like that really should be in terms of off-season shit. That should be your number one goal.
Number one. That should be day one.
Like we all agree when it comes to getting another wide receiver that it's a veteran pretty much through free agency. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's where it's like this. Okay, that's where it can varies from either trading for Calvin Ridley to going after DJ. I mean, I see now even Juju. I don't want Juju. But
I want nothing to do with Juju. No, thank you.
And that's what I'm saying. We all agree with that one. I mean, even Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson or Mike Williams, and I'm happy. I'm doing backflips.
See, Mike Williams. So we all agree at least.
Big body
that's
motherfucker.
One target in free agency. Like we all agree that free agency wide receiver, that veteran wide receiver, is a must go.
Yep.
All
There's
right.
At least 20 guys you can go out and get that you're doing fucking backflips.
But I will say my only condition to that, if Treylon Burks is on the board, I'm out of Arkansas. I'm taking Treylon Burks. 6'3", the man's a stud.
Yeah. I'd rather have Olave, honestly, but that's just me.
I don't like Olave because he has attitude problems. I don't like Olave.
I don't care.
Like if I had a draft,
bring that moss shit over here.
I like Justin Tolbert because he's like that. He's got a good frame, and I know it's a gamble that you could get him in like that second or third round, depending on how the board falls. Like that's the only reason why I waiver. I mean, I don't want to. Dotson, I love his game in Penn State, but
Penn State guys, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and then we don't need to get another speedy wideout. Like I think I'm kind of out on the speedy wideouts for right now. Sorry, Rager put that bad taste in my mouth. So
yeah, well, he's not even fast. That's offensive to speed guys. He's not even fast. That's the crazy. Like he's fast when he wants to be. It's weird.
I just think like the chances like slim to none that they do that again in the first. Even though they have 3 first-round picks, I
don't think so either.
From a team that like prior to like recently they very infrequently drafted wide receivers first overall. First in the first round.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I'd be really shocked if they did that 3 years in a row.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Not only that, but I mean, if you want to count the second round, I mean, we wasted a lot of draft capital when it comes to wide receivers and did not hit. So, it's definitely like we need to take a break.
Now, again, it doesn't necessarily have to be the first round per se. It could be in the second or third round. You could go. So, and the thing is too, like people don't realize. Obviously, as far as defensive players, this draft is stacked.
Offensive,
it's not stacked as far as wide receivers go, but it's a very, very solid wide receiver class this year. It's very solid.
It is. It's not like it's not like the past 2 years.
No,
where you're gonna have like a lot of wide receivers going in that first round. It's more like kind of spread out. Like you can get talent in that first round. You got plenty of wide receivers that justifies for that first round pick, but then you can see it like you wouldn't be surprised to hear like a second or third round wide receiver rookie, making a name for himself in the league next year because it's that solid. So I give him that much. But as far as free agency, besides the wide receiver, what else like position would you go after in free agency?
Linebacker,
safety.
Defensive line. I mean, that's really as far as all that goes. The rest I can get in the draft.
Yeah, like I would say safety. I feel as though as far as free agents, because I mean, you just had one of the free agents from Cincinnati, Bates. He's definitely been flashing. But there you go. You got also Marcus Williams. So and then you got like
Darius Slay's buddy from Seattle.
Who?
Diggs.
Oh, Diggs, yeah.
Diggs.
Is it Trey Diggs?
No, not Trey Diggs.
Oh, Quan Diggs?
Quandre
Diggs.
Yeah, he's pitching on that right now.
Oh, he's
not a free agent though, is he?
Isn't he?
Hold on.
They always go back on
got a new
social media.
Let me look at his contract real quick.
Yeah, I thought Seattle signed him.
Yeah, I thought he got a contract not that long ago. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
3 years, $18 million. Hold on. Let me see. When is his career dead cap? Let me scroll down a little more.
But fuck that. If Mika Fitzpatrick becomes a free agent, I'm like, push all chips in, giving him that 7-year contract.
Yeah, they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay Minka. They're gonna pay Minka. They might. Interesting name. What's his name? Might go from the Steelers. What the fuck is his name? Oh my god, the other safety they drafted. I forget his name. Why is there no details on his contract? Is he a free agent? Hold on a minute. Contract Diggs?
Yeah, he's done. Is his last
It is his last year?
Yeah, this was his last year.
So I guess that's why his contract isn't popping up. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
2022 unrestricted free agent.
Wow. Okay.
How old is he?
29. So he's older, but again, we saw what Slay did last year. He's not Slay, but still, that's a solid number too. It's actually an upgrade compared to Steve Nelson. Nothing against Steve Nelson, but definite upgrade. Just depends on how much money you would want. I don't think he's going to
still go with. I would still go with Williams. I would still try to snag Williams.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the younger guy, like it's a veteran, younger guy. The Saints are literally going to be, just getting rid of players.
Basically. Yeah, Marcus is going to want a lot of money. Yeah. Though. That's the thing. He's going to want a lot of money.
And that's why, like, if between him and Fitzpatrick, if he comes available, is like
Edmonds. Thank you, Matthew. That's who I was thinking of. Edmonds.
All right, guys.
Pete.
Pete.
I guess he's done.
Yeah, I guess he literally is done. Like he just froze there.
He just.
Jesus.
And you're stuck.
And
look like Gru hit him with that freeze ray.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he legitimately. I guess his laptop died or something. Yeah, I have no clue.
Nope. Well, either way, he just shut it off.
We'll just look at you for the rest of the show.
It's Troy.
Yo.
He's like, all right, guys, I'm going to go. And then just stuck. He's just stuck. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Well, in memoriam of Pete, we'll just keep his little box right there.
Exactly. I wish we could hang the decorations.
Oh,
damn. I was just getting ready to say, let's start breaking out the decorations. This is what happens when you fall asleep with your shoes on at the house party.
Wow, there's so much room in here now. So much room to do activities.
Oh, look at all these we can do so many activities. Oh,
he said his laptop died.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I figured. Okay. It was either his phone or his laptop. That's what I figured.
Well, that's like, okay, let's stick to free agency. Like, as far as availability and who would y'all he got possessed. Nice, Troy. As far as like who would you throw some money at as far as all the available free agents and for that position?
Terrell Edmonds I like a lot. coming out of Pittsburgh
Okay.
because he's a free agent, and they're not going to bring him back because I think the Steelers want to re-sign Minka. So that'd be a name I'd look at. Let me just look at his numbers real quick. I mean, he's not terrible.
No, he's just it's all like that's a good
solid
value pick. Like
plus,
you're not gonna break the bank.
Guy too. He's only 25.
Yeah, young guy, not gonna break the bank. Willing to make a name for himself. I mean, I like that.
Let me see. So in his last 3 years, he had 105 tackles, 68 tackles, 89 tackles, and 4 interceptions in his last 4 years. In his last 3 years, excuse me. But that many tackles for a safety, that's pretty good.
I mean, that's a nice box safety. I mean, you can tell that he sniffs around the line. Coverage isn't that bad. I can live with it.
I wouldn't go. I don't think he's going to be crazy expensive for a guy that's only 25, but I don't know.
I mean, that's why I said there's only certain players.
Troy Dunton did get cut.
That's a 1 year veteran deal. Like if he goes all the way to like the close to training camp, that's like one of them. I see how we like flipping the tires on that one, but not like I'm gotta go out there and go grab them.
Right.
If a pass rusher in free agency, what's my man from Miami? I can give him a 4-year deal, but I'm not trying to break the bank for him because I'm not sold on his play. I can't even think of it.
Hassan Reddick's out there, but I think he's a 3-4 D lineman. I think.
Yeah, he's 3-4. Okay. Yeah, he's a 3-4 like attack. Like he's only good for like.
Yeah, if he's a 3, technically that's different.
A third down pass rusher / linebacker-ish. Like he's. What's a good one that like he reminds me of? He's a situational guy, like, and that's.
I mean, he had 11 sacks this year. That's nothing to sneeze at, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he'll get paid somewhere. I don't think he's going to get a huge contract, but he'll definitely get paid somewhere.
Absolutely.
Matthew Wallace also says Calvin Ridley is somewhere we might realistically be able to trade for if he only costs a second rounder. I'd trade for him in a heartbeat. Like that's my thing too. So I don't think, and everyone's saying like, oh, you're gonna have to give up a first round pick and that whole thing.
Hell
no. One, the guy wants out. That's one, and 2, he's dealing with mental health issues. I'm not saying that's a deficit, but that goes into
that counts against it. That's why I'm like, I'm willing to give a second rounder and Rager for just Calvin, really, because I mean, trade two wide receivers that just needs a different atmosphere. Different scenery, and and for the Falcons, you getting a second round pick and you're getting a wide receiver. If you can flip the tires on them, it works out for everybody.
I actually like that trade a lot.
I do too. And the thing is, people have to remember. But I know it's the Texans, but DeAndre Hopkins got traded for a second and a running back that can't play anymore. Yeah. So
exactly. I mean, and as much as like in our heads that we thinking like Calvin really was on that cusp, because I mean, you remember when he was playing with Julio, he was seeming like he was that guy, but what we seen was when he became that number one guy, like the pressure really mounted up to him. And I mean, I can understand like it was crazy for him because you talking about in Atlanta where he went from what's my man's name? He just slipped out my damn head. That first wide receiver they had, that big wide receiver, then they brought in Julio. And that was like the little tandem for a little while.
Sanu.
Not Sanu. What's his name? Sanu. Like they brought Sanu in. Pretty much the Atlanta Falcons drafted this guy. Damn it, man! What's this?
Not Andre Johnson. I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I have his face in my head, but I can't. What do you call it?
That's what I'm saying.
I have his face in my head.
It's driving me insane. I gotta look it up.
Pop says Gage.
No, not Gage. Hold on.
I'm trying to think.
Roddy White.
There it is. God,
Oh, Roddy White. Yeah,
Roddy White.
Yeah, Roddy White, and then they brought in Julio Jones, and that was the tandem.
Right.
And-
Right. Oh my God. How
And
did I
then
forget
so
about
it
Roddy
was
White?
like that put pressure on Calvin really to kind of follow up because it seemed like Atlanta was hitting on those wide receivers.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like the change of scenery would be both will benefit both of them. But he didn't live up to that pressure.
Now everyone's jumping on board. Oh, Roddy White.
Roddy White. Hey, you gotta love the fam. Yeah, I got it.
We all got it, guys. We all got it.
Yeah, we got it.
It's that South Park mob. It's like,
yeah. But
I'm honest lost. Like,
I don't know.
I'll be honest. Like, I haven't been doing too much research in terms of NFL free agency because I've been like geared in today, but like as far as draft,
that's why you got that Sixers poster in the back. We understand.
no, I mean I'm 4 for 4 all the way. I follow all of them all, like the same. It's just with the NFL just ending, I'm kind of focusing in on the NBA, but I mean, like taking a look at like the mock drafts that I've seen and stuff like that. I mean, clearly, like if we're going defense, like I wouldn't mind many, if not any of the players coming from Georgia's defense, just because.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like the first one that's probably going to be up there is
Nakobe
Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that's another one.
Between Dean and Davis, those are the first two.
And then the other linebacker from Georgia that plays right next to Dean. What is his name?
Well, it's not Walker.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Pickens. No, Pickens is a wide receiver.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know who you're freaking talking about, though. They got
take him too. I take him more.
They got him trying to slide into the second round, though, or second or third round.
Who?
I know. I got was it Whitman or
you talking about the other
Harris?
The linebacker.
It was Harris. Was it Harris?
Well,
we're still talking about the other linebacker.
Linebacker from Georgia, yeah. Christian Harris is definitely going in the second round. I wouldn't mind him from Alabama.
I would love Christian Harris in the second. I love Christian Harris. I need to see.
Oh, it's Walker.
Walker. Okay.
Oh, okay. Walker.
Oh, okay. Then that might be two Walkers because I know Trevion Walker was the defensive end for Georgia.
Let me see. Nakobe Dean, obviously. Oh, Quay Walker. Yeah.
Okay. See. Okay. Wow. Damn.
Quay Walker.
I mean, if we're only gonna have 2 picks, because I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we traded for that 2023.
Trading one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you think Howie's sitting on his hands with 3 first-round picks, you're insane, and you don't know how you're by now.
Right.
But
I would love to see.
That's what kills me about that center.
Yeah, I would love to see like let's say like a Jordan Davis and like a Sauce. Like you give me two, you give me them, you give me a cornerback and a DT that could be groomed to like take over for Fletch.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Now Sauce and Davis, I'll live with that one. I mean,
yeah.
Because that's why I'm looking at free agents because we know compared to the NBA, you always do your draft first and then do free agency. Compared to an NFL, we do free agency first. That's why I always, as far as free agency for the NFL, is like, okay, if we got the wide receiver, then a safety, that means okay, in the draft, I'm not pressured into drafting a safety early or as far in the pass rush, that you can see where you can kind of go.
Yep.
As far as the draft. And right now it's because it's so defensive heavy, it's I wouldn't mind Sauce, I wouldn't mind Elam. from Florida as a corner.
I
The line.
I don't think I don't think Gardner's going to fall that far. That's the issue, because I'm seeing now he's starting to climb up draft boards, and it looks like he's probably going to go top 10 or possibly top 5. So we'll see.
And
that's we have the picks to go anywhere we want, but we'll see.
I mean, right now it's, what would benefit us if, somehow teams feel pressure into getting a quarterback in that first round. Mm-hmm. So that will all that's what, it'll drop some of those good players towards us a little bit. And it's not looking good for as far as those quarterbacks really coming into play and really, I mean, there's only 2 quarterbacks I'm hearing that's teams might take a first rounder on, but they're not sold on, I guess.
You'll hear that, Todd. I hear that every year, and then you'll hear 3 teams that draft quarterbacks in the top of the first round. So and that's what I'm hoping for. At least 3 teams pick quarterbacks. So that means if you got 3 teams that's willing to trade up, which will help us out, because I wouldn't mind trading back and picking up like an extra second or extra third. Right. And making sure we still get that 2023. Mm-hmm. I would do that all day, because I know I can find value in those picks. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Wink says problem with Jordan, talking about Jordan Davis, Jordan College, was he was a part-time player, but I guess most D linemen are rotation guys now. I know what you mean, because he would play for a snap or 2, and then you'd see him on the sidelines all the time. I know exactly what he means. But
I mean, even when Georgia had him on damn special teams. So I mean, like, why the hell he was on special teams? So
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. What's that?
Molly Mall says, would you guys trade within division? Cooper might be on the go from us. No, I don't want Amari Cooper.
No, I don't want Amari.
I already know that headache that you guys are dealing with. No, thank you. I appreciate the conversation, Molly, but no, I'm good.
When he was available, I really wanted it, but I wouldn't have gave up that first.
Not now.
I don't want him now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When y'all beat us, y'all gave up that first for him. We that was too rich for our blood.
Yeah, and the fact the fact that you're hearing things with Amari being like, I don't want to play.
That's what I say. I'd rather sign DJ. I rather DJ Shark. Yeah. I mean, that's who I'm sold on, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not wavering off of that. Hey, Don. I can't waver off of DJ. Like, I like Mike Williams.
Well, Dallas better figure that out though, because
they're way against the cap. They're way against the cap right now.
Their wide receiver core could be
it's not to implode
like that.
I mean, Gallup is gone.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Gallup, I know for sure is gone.
Their tight end, who I like, had a good year this year. What's his name? He's leaving.
The second, that he got on my nerves too.
He's good. He's a solid tight end.
Yeah, he's his tight end number 2, but he knows how to make plays and
and then you have Van Der Esch, which doesn't seem like a huge loss for them. So, would y'all take a flyer on him? No, I don't know what his neck issue is. I don't know, because that was his issue when he was drafted. He's talented, but he's always seems to be hurt.
But he has not been the same since his rookie years. Oh, Schultz. Okay, yeah. Good job, Luke. Thanks for the lookout. But it's.
I mean, I'll always have a soft spot for the Wolf Hunter, but it's
Yeah, that neck is.
It depends on what I'm paying, though. Too. That's the other thing. It depends on what I'm paying him.
Well, of course, I would take a 1-year deal on him. 1-year prove-it deal.
Trade Cooper to sign Gallup. Okay.
I hear you, Maul. I mean,
I don't want him here. I don't want him here, though.
Hell no.
No, Gallup's a stud, though.
But so who they throwing out there with CD Lamb? CD Lamb. He's
willing to trade Cooper, but he'll keep Gallup.
Yeah.
So it'll be be CD Lamb and Gallup.
Okay. Gallup. So
that ain't bad.
No, but I don't understand. CD's had drop issues this year, or the past couple of years anyway. And he never had that issue in college. So I don't know
It's that
what.
curse of that 88, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
you put on that 88 number. It's like, you'll flash your rookie season, but you don't live up to the hype.
He had a good year this year though. He made the Pro Bowl. He made the Pro Bowl this year. So
I mean, but I mean, granted,
love CJ.
hey, how many times we get reminded by Cowboys fans, we're going to the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and when you don't make it, it's like, hey, individual stats are nice, but guess what? If you don't make it to the show, it don't matter.
Yeah, and that's why I like having Molly on, because Molly will Molly will talk his shit like all.
Oh yeah, I love Maul, man.
Opposing division teams do, but it's just he's realistic at the same time. That's why I like Molly.
Absolutely.
He also likes us. He also likes to see us getting upset. So.
Oh man, he definitely likes to let us know that we caught that hot L, and but I love how he disappears too. He disappears too when he get that hot L.
Yeah.
But that's all in fun.
We kind of can't disappear because we do what we do, but
absolutely, we gotta set the pie in the face.
So before we wrap, did we talk about the Carson Wentz situation when I was?
We can go a little bit more into that one. We just kind of highlighted. We ain't really going.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about. It's just
fall
from grace from 2017 is just the guy. He's not the same anymore, and everyone's like, "Oh, give him Frank Reich. He'll be back to 2017." No.
Well, that's it. It was set up for it. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, I did like the what if Carson Wentz never got hurt. I mean, he would probably still be on the team. I'll be proud to wear his jersey.
Yeah, it's the biggest what if, and it's going to be one of the biggest what ifs in Eagles history. If he never got hurt, I think he's still the same player. But
because now the thing about it is when you're talking about a guy that got paired up, like that was the one thing everybody picked the Colts to go all the way because you paired up with the guy that got the best talent out of you. And to lay a goose egg like that, I mean, it was sad because we all thought the Colts was already in the playoffs. I already thought they was already locked it up. And then you find out that they got to win it in, and you're going down to Jacksonville and you lay a goose egg with the best running back in the league. The defense was doing their part and you're just turning the ball over. So as a franchise,
you're throwing left-handed interceptions, and it's a mess. I
mean, I know Brett Favre is hero, but Brett Favre even would say, like, dude, stop doing that. Like, you can't, you can't just turn the ball over like a machine. And that's what we was getting tired of because it seemed like you can guarantee, or if I was a betting man, I would go to Las Vegas that Carson Wentz will throw a touchdown and an interception for the 7 straight games, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
So and a franchise is not going to pay you that kind of money that he's getting ready to get owed for a touchdown and interception, ratio. Nobody don't want that.
Right. Like the TD to interception ratio is nice. He doesn't turn the ball over, but it's just he kills you. He's stuck at being who he is, and he said that before in press conferences to where people have asked him to adjust, and he's like, "Listen, I am who I am," and it's been well documented when he says, "I am what I am." So,
he's gonna pop his ass on somewhere else because he's right now he's not even gonna be able to be a starter. Like he's gonna have to go somewhere. Like the only way if he can become a starter, he has to go to like Carolina, where their team is kind of set, but he got to compete for the job because there's. Like where the team is not kind of set on the quarterback, that's where he's going to have to prove it. But the sad part is you're about to leave a team that needs a quarterback and they gave up on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, how we pulled the trigger. I mean, we was able to get the first round, even though
they won the trade. They won the trade. There's no way around that. Eagles won the trade. It's not even.
I mean, we gambled on his health. I mean, that's the scary part. We literally gambled on his health, and he got enough snaps. I mean, Jesus, we was doing a snap countdown.
Well, if you think about it too, Howie did the right thing to where you got a guy who helped lead you to a Super Bowl, realized he wasn't good enough, and got him out of here before the league actually finally knew. They're like, wow, this guy really isn't that good.
Well,
So-
I mean, because if you look back on it, I mean, we did everything we possibly could for him. I mean, he had nearly an MVP season, came back. I mean, we said that we rushed him back, heard all the, all the chatter that we should have stayed with Foles. They started messing with his psyche. He can't, had a decent year that following year, led to the playoffs, even though he did get hurt.
Yeah.
And we still paid him.
And he cried like a baby and he wanted out. So
yeah, that last season, I mean, granted, we all didn't want Jalen Hurts in that second round, but hey, he was here and he didn't.
It was the right move. It was the right move.
Yeah. I mean, when you did everything you possibly can do for a franchise guy, especially after you pay him, and he's still not, or he's still turning the ball over. I mean, that's the one thing why the quarterback position is so important, because you do have that ball in your hands, and if you constantly turning it over, you're a liability.
Yeah. Dad says so. Aaron Rodgers might be back with the Packers. God, I hate him.
Well, with Aaron Rodgers, is like the Packers are stuck between where Devontae Adams is like, okay, is Aaron Rodgers saying so he's not going to sign anything,
right?
Unless Aaron Rodgers signs something. So I mean, the Packers' hands are tied.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. Luke says, if Wentz is cut, where does he go? Basically, team that loses on the QB musical chairs in the draft or free agency. Where I think he's going to go, and this is what I'm hearing, at least on my end, there's a possibility that he could go to Pittsburgh, which really intrigues me. But if it doesn't work out, theoretically, if he goes to Pittsburgh and it doesn't work out, he's done. As a starter anyway, he's done. You can wrap that up. But
I just don't understand why Indy's jumping ship after a season.
And that's how
especially
I feel.
With the coach. Especially with the coach that has the rapport with him. None of it makes any sense to me.
Okay. So
if anything, it's going back to this kind of thing that we heard.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, Irsay.
Yeah. That's exactly why.
Okay.
That's exactly why.
All right.
Now, here's what. Do you have HBO?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Watch the last episode of Hard Knocks. Go to the last episode. I think it's like 42.
Oh, that's right. They were like in season, right?
It was 42 and some change. After the After the game, what's it called?
The Jaguars game?
That loss against the Jaguars. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay didn't say a word, but from what you saw of him in the locker room, just standing there, he was furious. He was absolutely furious. And if you pay attention to his Twitter, some of the things he was saying on his Twitter, it's pretty damning.
Well, he loves the sauce too. So.
Oh, he absolutely does. There was a video a couple weeks ago where he's standing in front of his jet, the engine's going, and you could tell he's plastered, about that. And he was apologizing. Like, Colts fans, I'm sorry. You deserve better. We usually don't have these bad moments, and people can say what they want. I love Jim Irsay. I love Jim Irsay.
Irsay is that GM that you do look like as a fan, you really appreciate, because he wants to see this franchise win. But I'm like you, Dad. It's hard to believe that they ready to just pull the plug, because where do you go? Like that's what I always say. Like if you're ready to give up on a guy, what are you going to do to bring him in? Okay, or what are you going to do to replace him? Yeah. And knowing that this draft is not as strong for the quarterback position, we're talking about the musical chairs as with all these quarterbacks. I mean, with Watson, you don't know about the allegations, and he sat out a whole year, but we don't know how the NFL will play that because, would that count? Like how hard would that punishment still will be? That's why I'm willing to stay pat, because when you try to join in on all this quarterback talk and moving around, you're going to hurt your franchise.
Yeah, I the only thing, and I'll play devil's advocate with you, is that it's a unique offseason to where the whole landscape of the NFL is going to change. Brady's retired. Rodgers could move. Wilson could move. Deshaun Watson can move. There's a lot of other interchanging things that are going on this offseason that's going to completely change the face of the league, and it's going to be a huge offseason. And I feel like I've said this a bunch of years, but this, as far as the NFL goes, this is one of the biggest offseasons in NFL history.
Well, because it's the changing of the guard. You're actually seeing it.
Yep.
So, and that's all fine and well, but I just pulled up his numbers from the season, right? Because I was kind of curious. Like, I know, like, at times he had a quiet season in terms of, like,
statistically, it doesn't look bad. That's the thing. It doesn't look bad.
No, and I know what I've seen week to week in terms of highlights and stuff. Obviously, I'm not watching Colts football because I'm just not wasn't in the game of doing that to myself. But it would just 1,000% seem like an emotional decision to move away from a guy that was 27-7 with over 3,500 yards passing and a 62% completion rate. Like, I'm sorry.
So from what I saw, anyway, they limited him offensively. They limited him to sort of a game manager in a sense, because of all the carries they gave Jonathan Taylor, because they didn't trust that Carson Wentz could win them a game with his arm. Now, again, he'll give you nice numbers, but it's just a matter of can he win you a game? And I think that's what's leading. I can't say led because it hasn't happened yet, but what's leading into the Colts' decision, or at least their conversation of moving on from Carson Wentz, because they don't trust him that he can win a game with that he's able to win a game with his arm. And that's
the craziest thing about Carson. That's what it was. The ceiling is that where he was competing for the MVP. That's like where his elite status can go.
Yeah.
But he's been on that way. He took us to that wild card against Seattle, that kind of season but it's been that up and down. And then like might have a string of consistent games where he had like a couple of wild plays with his arm, but he's just that, he's that gambler. Like he just got
gunslinger.
That gunslinger.
Who he is.
Yeah. Who he is. He just can't help it. And that's a killer. And it's sad that, a franchise is willing to give up on him after 1 year. But at the same time, you understand why, like, especially for us as being Eagles fans, because we're like, that was driving us insane.
I can't pull it up. Jake, can you find out how many fumbles he had last year?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let me see.
Because, like, that's my thing with him. It's never been his arm or consistently throwing the ball. Like, that's what the
culture talking about.
Just in general, like, and from the games, even from the games that I watched him last year, like, he can get the ball down the field and he's fairly accurate. Like, I mean, fuck, I watched Jalen Hurts this entire year. Like, in terms of throwing the ball, like, I don't know. I mean,
fumble's not a
what drives
you need
me
to go
nuts
ahead
with
and
him is fumbling.
Let your dog out, man. He's looking at the door like, look, man, let me out.
So
1 minute.
He's like, quit your jibber jabber and open up this door.
So yeah, fumbles are still an issue for Carson. So 2016 his rookie year, he had 14, only 3 lost. 2017 he had 9, 3 lost.
Okay.
2018 he had 9, 6 lost. Mind you, that was in 11 games. 2019 full season, 16 fumbles, 7 lost.
Woo.
2020, 10 fumbles, 4 lost.
Mm.
And 2021, 8 fumbles, 5 lost. So
See, that's just fumbles like that, and that's the killer. Like you're not even throwing in an interception, so it's
66 fumbles in 6 years. That's insane.
It's the gunslinger. It's really not like it. Obviously, it is insane, but it goes back to the gunslinger mentality. Like he's gonna stand in the pocket. He's not gonna get rid of the fucking ball.
He's gonna wait for
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally the same shit we've seen with Favre. But Favre would wait longer in the pocket, and he would have a good offensive line. So his situation will be he throws a lot of picks because he's just gonna throw it into a window that
But that was also supposed to benefit Wentz because I mean the Colts offensive line ain't nothing to sneeze at. No. So it's like
and they didn't have. And here's the thing, because we said this too in Carson's last year, that the Eagles' offensive line was horrible. Now, mind you, they were injured, and we saw how well they played this year. But for the most part, I mean, outside of I think one of their starting linemen, the Colts' offensive line was fine this year. It's just it's give and take with Carson, because he's going to hold on to the ball.
They had Quentin Nelson out here and there, but it wasn't to the point where like he was like with the Eagles where we lost like his whole entire offensive line, and he got nothing but backup. So it's one of those like I feel bad. I really do feel bad for Carson because we traded all the way up. We saw the potential, and it's just
I don't know.
When you got that gunslinger mentality is definitely I really do think about it like when you're talking about Brett Favre. Is when he got you wins. He had those gaffes or those mess ups, but he always pulled it out at the end. And by Carson not able to pull it out at the end,
that's the difference. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Yep.
And that's a killer.
Like Favre will frustrate you, but you can always trust him in a 2-minute situation to take you down the field and win you a football game
and put it away. Exactly.
Yep. Carson's had some of those moments, but like not to where Brett Favre was at this point of his career, in his 6th year of his career. So,
I mean, that's why I didn't mind paying him when he, got us into that wild card, spot.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
yep.
I mean, everybody can try to say, well, it was our division week, whatever. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you can't help but who you play on your schedule. Can't help that's who's in your division. But if he's getting you the wins at those last moments, game-winning touchdowns, I mean, that was that inkling of why I was like, okay, let's go ahead and pay him. I mean, let's go ahead and see what he could do for us. He can build off of it. And unfortunately, he didn't. And
nope. Uh-oh. Pete's frozen.
It's almost like the same situation, like he just coming in now because he had to outdo. Froze. I'm back.
You're good.
Yep. I don't see him do like he had to outperform Phillip Rivers,
and
he didn't live up to that. And now you're talking about you're going to try to beat out Big Ben or try to outdo Big Ben because that's who they love. They love Big Ben.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like he's going to be constantly dealing with that pressure. Oh, look at that sweet baby right there, boy. That's a beautiful dog right there.
This is Ben here.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't know. There's a million different things that can happen, but it looks like all the lights are pointing towards Carson being either cut or traded.
If you guys are running that organization, would you do that after what you?
The thing is, at this point, I would, because I've been talking about his MVP caliber season and what he can be since his knee injury in 2017. That can only take him so far. I think at this point, unfortunately, he is what he is, and I just don't see him getting back to that MVP status. That's just my opinion. I don't see it.
Okay.
If I was the organization, I'm going to try to do everything I possibly can do to trade him, just so I don't have to. Because if you release him, you're eating that cap. Like that's the one thing I give Howie is like we're not going to be eating that. Like we ate the cap, but it's not going to hit us compared to the Colts is. I mean, the Colts are going to, if they release him, they're going to eat a major cap.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's like $50 million.
How about this?
If
I don't
50?
know if the
I think
Vikings,
it's 50. Yeah, if they were to release him, it'd be like 50.
yeah, that's what I said. That's a major cap hit. Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, would y'all do this deal? I would give up. Well, I would give the Vikings my second round pick, Carson Wentz. And a 2023 third rounder for Kirk Cousins, just so I won't eat the cap. Because I'm not seeing I don't see a whole lot of teams going to line up to try to trade for Carson, knowing that cap hit.
Yeah.
But why do you think Minnesota would want to do that?
Because they're on the fence about Kirk Cousins too. It's like you pretty much got to try to go to a team.
You're damned if you don't.
Exactly, they're the same boat as
Yeah, I guess
with their quarterback situation. Like that's why I'm like, okay, just like how we would flip wide receivers with the Atlanta Falcons, is like the change of scenery, because I know Minnesota is completely out on Kirk Cousins. I mean, they done seen, was it going on 4 years now? It seems like.
It's the same shit. Yeah, you don't make the playoffs and you lose in big moments. So you never do well in prime time, by the way. Kirk never does well in prime time.
So it's when you know that, and like pretty much Kirk Cousins' ceiling. Like,
yeah, no, Matt, I agree with you. It's not much of an upgrade, but
that's why I'm like, what? You're not gonna, if you're trading Carson Wentz, you're not gonna fleece a team. Like there's no fleecing over there, like how Howie did. Like everybody knows what you got. So either you stick with them, you're gonna eat that cap, or you try to like. I love Kirk Cousins. Oh, keep him in Minnesota. I mean, that's why I said. I mean, what other team that's out there that's willing to take on Carson Wentz? Like that's what I'm saying. Like as far as trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there will be teams out there because a lot of teams need a quarterback, but it's just a matter of
what's he 29 now?
I think he's 29. Yeah.
28, 29. Like I know he's still in them.
He came out as what, a fifth-year senior, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think he was 20.
Yeah,
23
he was
or 24
because
25.
Because he got hurt that previous year, so he came back to play that fifth year option. Yeah.
Carson is. Hold on a moment.
I'm pretty sure he's 29.
And matter of fact, how old is Derek Carr, by the way? Like I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate too.
Carson Wentz is 29. Derek Carr is, according to the Google machine, he's turning 31 on March 28th.
Oh damn, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like the Raiders are going to re-sign him anyway. So
exactly. So that's another domino off and it's like, I'm sorry, fellas. It's like, yo, there is no trying to trade for a veteran quarterback right now because at first it was looking like a lot of.
I thought about that, Troy. I did think about that.
I don't know if Detroit's willing to do that. That would be crazy as hell.
Don says I'm okay, so no.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Don is like, he's not going to take that. He'll stick with Jared Goff over Carson Wentz. I think it's safe to say that Jared Goff is definitely deserving of that number one overall pick in that draft.
If we're saying it's a mediocre or below mediocre draft class at this point, then yeah, I agree.
I mean,
like
mediocre.
I'm just talking about between the both of them. I mean, like,
yeah.
like one or two. Which one is having a better career? At least like Jared Goff is still starting as a quarterback. Like he doesn't have like dark clouds and hasn't like they both been traded, but at the same time is like y'all can go.
Love you, Don.
Love you, Don. He's like, how dare y'all
don't do this to me.
Put
Don't
some
bring that evil
disrespect on my Lions.
Lions are
they
can
be good
for him. They can trade for him, and then Carson can sit on the bench, and he'll be the backup.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
You'll have a really good backup, Don.
What a weird
1-2 punch.
Oh,
literally, that'd be a 1-2 punch. Like, damn, that's crazy.
That would actually be insane if that were to happen.
Because what is it? Oh wow! I'm trying to really think about teams that.
It's a lot of money for
that need the quarterback because there's at least 12 teams.
That's a lot of.
Go ahead, Jake.
That's a lot of fucking money for a backup. Holy shit!
How much is it?
Oh, it's like the Carson's making like 30-something million a year.
Woo!
And Jared Goff's got to be making like 20-something. So
they both have 6-figure contracts.
Whoa!
Actually, no, 9-figure. I'm sorry, 9-figure.
That would be disgusting.
Well, Don, I mean, y'all do know a thing about factories with that Ford over there. So I mean, y'all would definitely be the quarterback factory then. God damn.
Yeah, maybe the Fords need to work or Carson will work for
you.
Woo!
But I'm really looking at all the quarterback needy teams, and for what Carson gave you, it's so hard to like really see a team that's willing to go out there and stretch the limb. Because I mean, the only reason why I brought up Carolina because come on, I'm
in the clear.
Yes. He's like Bruce Lee over there, like just like I'm taking on everybody. Give me my nunchucks.
I hate everybody. I hate everybody.
Where's my nunchucks? Everybody gets it.
Troy, could you imagine? That'd be nuts. That'd be crazy.
Well, I mean, Don, the Tigers could be coming back soon.
Yeah.
Really?
There's the positive. They're supposed to be meeting. They're supposed to be meeting every day next week. So.
Okay.
Trying to get a deal done. So we'll see.
Can we talk about that for like 2 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is it?
Oh, it's
you have a meeting, ridiculous. And this has happened like multiple times since
it only lasts 15 minutes.
Oh, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Like, what is the point?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about that lasts only?
Yeah, you could have a Skype call. Like, you're gonna bring everybody in and just have a meeting, and then 15 minutes later walk out. Like, no.
Well, that's the one thing,
shit, man.
Yeah, like that's the one thing about baseball. Like, it's just dumbfounding. I mean, just see how they do the Hall of Fame should already let you know how how they negotiate. Like, it's ridiculous, and
the steroid thing's gone now.
I was just gonna say that. What's more fucked up about the entire situation is, so you're not gonna put now. To preface this with, like, I think that Bonds and all these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. Put them in the fucking Hall of Fame and then just put like an asterisk next to their shit.
Put an asterisk there.
Yeah.
Be like, he has all these records and has all that, but he was on steroids.
Right. But now you're not even testing. Mm-hmm. Now they're not testing players for steroids. So this entire fucking process, this entire whole thing with the game of baseball, because they realize, as much as I love baseball, the ratings are fucking down. Okay.
Yeah,
So they're not worrying about fucking testing people for steroids because they secretively, or they don't want to come out and obviously publicly say it. They want more offense in the game. They want more exciting plays because at the end of the day, if you're old enough to remember and see the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire shit,
Oh
back in
man,
the
that
day,
was great.
God, it was
that was
great.
must see
That was
fucking TV.
Oh, it was
Oh my
great.
god!
Must
Like
see TV.
I'm sitting there as a Yankees fan, but I'm like, this fuck this. I gotta
Yep.
see who's winning. And of course,
Yeah,
everybody's
Mark
picking their
McGuire.
favorite. It's like this. You got people that was rooting for Mark. I mean, of course,
Every single
hey,
night.
I went for he's not a minority anymore, but I was going for Sammy Sosa.
Not a
You know,
minority anymore.
yeah, I don't know what the fuck he is now, man. He's like, what's it called? What is it?
The melanin.
Blueberry or whatever that motherfucking that Frankenberry. Like that's who he is now.
Frankenberry.
God, mighty man.
It's
I was like,
he went to like whoever Mike went to back in the day.
he proved that okay,
And,
that
like,
Michael
then they
Jackson surgery
fucked up
is
or
real.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, that Michael Jackson surgery is real but he
Yeah.
just came out fucked up because I don't know what the hell happened.
Came out
I guess
fucked up.
like you got to have that money like Michael Jackson because at least when Michael did it, he looked still good and we willing to accept it. But when he had it, I was like, oh Lord, what happened to him? He looked like
I love Sammy Sosa too.
So do I.
Friggin' loved him.
yeah. Everybody loved
He
him.
was one of the first players. Like obviously, like I feel like him and Ricky before him was Ricky Henderson that like put like the pizzazz into the game. So like he like
I mean, he had all of us
put
doing
on
the
a show.
like that double little peace sign. Like
That's
I
what I'm
still
saying.
fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Every time he went to the dugout, everybody was like, you know, everybody was doing that shit. And then, like, seeing, like, when you knew him and Mark McGuire were battling out, and then when their teams played each other, it was like, oh, who's going to win it out? And you see how, you know, they was just happy for each other.
You know what I'll compare it to? Like, culturally, like, he did a lot for the game of baseball culturally as Allen did in basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
In
absolutely.
terms of like
100%.
dressing, in terms of like cultural, like just style.
I mean, the Dominican Republic, I mean, a lot of Dominicans really picked up the bat and ball and really started knocking out because it was a big influx. What is it?
Sammy went from Jackie Robinson to Pee Wee Herman. Oh my god, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Whoa!
That ain't right. That ain't right.
Whoa!
I'm actually picturing now that he says that. I'm picturing the one.
Oh, I know exactly what picture. He's looking at the side and he's smiling. I know exactly what picture you're talking about.
I know
that picture's embedded in my brain. I can't forget that picture. It's so creepy.
Oh my!
His eyes are all big and sparkly, and he's like,
the interview is what got me. Where because literally I thought it was Photoshop like a motherfucker.
That's what I thought.
I thought that people were lying. I was like, what did Sammy do? Why is everybody targeting him? And next, you know, when I saw the interview, I was like, oh my god. I was like, somebody please snatch the mask off. I was hoping it was like a Scooby-Doo episode.
No,
I really thought it was a Scooby-Doo episode. Somebody's just gonna rip off the mask and just playing with me now. But I mean, Barry Bonds. I mean, Jesus, just how just to bring it back to about the whole steroid thing. I can't even put asterisks on their names because where Barry Bonds, where like the whole like how many times he got walked and he walked like the Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, that was must see TV because everybody wanted to see like how many like is any pitcher really going to go after Barry Bonds? And it was just, you know, that was must see TV, but everybody knew about the whole steroids and everything, and he was being majorly targeted because how big his head grew and besides his body.
Thinking shit that made his head grow.
Yeah, I mean that was phenomenal.
He was literally a great player.
Oh, he was
even before he did roids. Like, he was a great player.
Oh, he was.
I mean, same with Mark McGuire. It was like he was with the A's. I mean, you can say that was like steroid heaven, you know, with all those guys. When you look back on it with Giambi and like they were just juiced up. But But the reason why I can't really always or put an asterisk with the steroids because when it comes to baseball, it is hand-eye coordination. Like it is, you know,
hit the baseball.
You still got to hit the damn ball. Like at the end of the fucking day, you still got to hit the ball. So I can't. You can't put an asterisk on it, but at the same
the-
time, that's what made you watch baseball. Like, and,
the
and
other
now
thing,
that they're not testing for it,
right?
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
The other thing is too, and then we'll start to wrap it up. Is that
Uh-huh.
they didn't know. They didn't know. There was no proof that he was on steroids at the time.
True.
So at the time, it was like, okay, well, we know he's doing something, but they don't know what it is. But like growing up, how, at least from my perspective, growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, that was my generation of baseball. Everyone was on steroids.
Yeah.
And like they were hitting balls out of the park, and it was just normal. And it was
But
just
that's
so,
what
it was
made
so
you want to
fun.
go
It
to
was,
games. It's
exactly,
like,
it was so fun.
Like, hell, fucking, what was it? You didn't mind sitting in like the center field, the sun blaring down on you, because you just like, you want an opportunity to catch a damn home run.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
So, hey, I'm with you, Jake. Like, that's where we grew up on. Like that. I mean, I don't care for baseball. Like, even for me being a Yankees fan, there was nothing talked about like seeing Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, see who's going to have, and like especially how baseball is being played like just about every day, and hearing about like they got the back-to-back games. So you're like, oh, did Sammy, have a hot streak, or you saw how they go on a cold streak, and you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Like you're trying to chase the record, but you're seeing like a duel. So I mean, it's.
The other thing is too, getting to Yankees, and we'll start to wrap up, is that you don't hear anyone talk about Alex Rodriguez and the Gummy Bears.
No,
just saying, you don't hear that, but we hear Barry Bonds steroids.
His body blew up too, 1000%.
It absolutely did.
But
we don't talk about it because it's Alex Rodriguez.
You take a look at him in Seattle, and then when he went to
the Rangers.
Texas.
I remember when he went to the Rangers. Boy, that's when, for me, that's when he became a household name.
Yep.
Yeah, he bulked the fuck up.
Yeah. And even David Ortiz, and I love Big Papi, but that's another guy who was caught. Yep. He was caught. They caught him doing steroids, and but he's in a Hall of Fame. It's fine that he made. It's so, and that's why baseball's losing people, and they don't understand it. They go by the beat of their own drum. They don't understand what the fans want. They don't know what the fans like. It's a bunch of guys from a much older generation, and now really a really long time ago, who were in their 60s and 70s, and some even in their 80s. It's just,
I get more entertainment watching Major League 1 and 2 than actually watching baseball now.
I mean, I'll say I'm happy to see that they finally adopted universal DH. Like, that's confirmed.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I mean, that should have been going on years ago. Like,
agreed.
We shouldn't have different rules in different leagues. Like,
agreed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Baseball is at a time where you're not trying to reinvent the sport, but you got to do something to change it up.
Oh,
because the only time we really truly get honest, we only get excited for baseball is when after the All-Star. For me, because I'm
no, absolutely.
I keep track of it on my Yankees, see where they at by the All-Star, and after the All-Star, I'm like, all right, let's see what we're gonna do. If we're gonna make the playoffs, if we make the playoffs, what we're gonna do. But as far as entertainment values for how many games they play, I mean, I could give a fuck less. Because I'm gonna start watching after the All-Star.
Well,
that's the. Oh, go ahead.
Being the conspiracy theorist that I am, does anyone else find it convenient during this whole CBA conversation? They approve universal DH, and they're not testing for steroids anymore when their ratings are down. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
No, it's 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean,
now they're trying to cut money. Yeah. And now they're trying to cut money in the minor league programs and remove
which
jobs
they make no money as it is.
Yeah,
which is insane.
And it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
no.
I mean, it does make sense in terms of what they're trying to do is they're trying to recoup the money that they're losing because they're not bringing enough people into a lot of stadiums.
Yep.
Other than the select few.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the bottom line is no, like Todd said, you don't need to reinvent the game. The game does not need to be reinvented. Mm-hmm. But Yeah, you could change some things up, like little tweaks here and there. Like one start is what you did, like universal fucking DH. You should have did it last year when you kept it in for the fucking COVID year for 60 games.
Yep.
I mean, how about this? Like, I want to just throw this out here. Let's play devil's advocate.
Okay.
All right. If you hit a home run, or like a single home run will be worth 2 runs. But like,
here we go.
Yeah, like I mean,
points galore.
Yeah, like you got to change. You got to change up score. Like, okay, if you steal a base, what if that you take a point away from your opponent? Like,
yeah,
if you can turn it to a little bit more of a scoring kind of,
you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the purists. You can't do shit.
Yeah, you're gonna lose.
And that's why I'm like, what tweaks what else could we do to the game
so for a dude that like clearly loves football as much as you love football, that'd be like saying if like you got a pick 6, it was worth 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm that's why I'm like trying to play devil's advocate. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Like, because I'm looking at like now during negotiations and here's TV deals. It's like, what is it that you could possibly do to help the game? Like, it's already hard enough to make stars in baseball.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
what else could you make it more exciting? Because I mean, like, to me, baseball has already maxed out stadiums as far as like entertainment values for the stadiums as they can go. Like, especially for midday games. I mean, the ticket prices are low. You know, you got historic games. They practically give away every damn thing they could possibly give at games. I mean, if you don't believe me, I mean, go to like an Orioles game, they're giving away damn tickets for like games later down their schedule. So it's like, what more could you do to help bring in that fan base or try to make it more appealing on TV?
Yeah. And I think that's just the younger generation too, to where they want everything like fast, quick, and people don't want to waste the time to sit there for 4, possibly 5, 6 hours to watch just one baseball game. I remember me and my buddy did it. It was the It was the Phillies Dodgers game that I think went into the 16th inning. I think it was like 4 years ago. The game didn't end until like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was the best. It was the best. It was raining. We were soaked. It was great. But yeah, people don't like. Some people don't like it. I know people in my age group in their late 20s, early 30s that they have no interest. They don't want to sit there for 4+ hours to watch a baseball game.
It's what they're like exposed to.
Yep.
So,
yes,
like,
I mean,
I'm
we're
not
living
going
in
to compare to
time.
like I'm not going to compare like 20-year-olds, but like to a degree, like they're exposed to the same shit my 6-year-old is exposed to. Like my son goes on his iPad, and if he doesn't like a video, he'll click on another video.
Yeah,
exactly.
Where when I was a kid or when we were kids, we had to sit there
and watch
the commercials.
Oh,
not only watch the commercials, if we didn't like the show, we'd either have to wait for another show to come on or hope there was something else on. Everything's instantaneously with everything nowadays. So it's
or you can just record it and fast through commercials, so you don't even have to deal with it.
Yep.
I mean, just for like new, what is it like for me? I'm just throwing it out there, like Sons of Anarchy. Like you had to wait till like a whole week before you got that next episode, and it's like now.
See, I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, of course. I like how because after you've been exposed to like, oh, you got the full entire season.
It just makes sense. So I can sit there and binge watch it. I don't feel like sitting there and waiting every fucking week. Like, just give me the whole
I mean, I just got done watching like the book of Boba Fett.
Suspense is nice though. I'll say.
Oh no, it absolutely is.
Like, in some ways, so like when I started watching Yellowstone, I caught up to the point where like I was like live and like current on the season, and I liked the suspense of like watching an episode and then like wondering like, oh shit, like I wonder what's gonna happen. Like me and my wife like talking and like trying to
I mean that's what I love about it too, like the speculation, like where you think it's gonna go.
But I also like being able to sit down and just like, oh my god, like I don't have to wait until I find out what happened.
Thank God,
like, it's like it's like It's like a double-sided sword. It's like, which one do I like more? Like, shit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm sorry. When it comes to Ozark, I need that episode like right after.
Yeah.
Like certain shows, I'm like, thank God.
So,
Oh yeah, I see the Godfather chiming in. You know, what's up, man? All right,
we'll wrap up. But
all right,
Dan, one more thing. Have you watched the prequel to Yellowstone, 1883?
So no, obviously,
Holy shit!
Is it that good?
It's phenomenal. The cast is loaded.
I know McGraw's on there.
McGraw's on it. Billy Bob Thornton's on it. Sam Elliott's on it.
Elliott.
You said 1883?
1883.
That's what it's called.
Okay, I'll check that
out. It's like when the Cowboys were Cowboys, but it's like right before the Industrial Revolution was about to start.
Okay, so by that, the government was hunting.
The government was going after all the Cowboys.
Yeah, they tease it a couple times
It's very, very good. It's very.
See, I like shows like that because I fell in love with Hell's on Wheels. Oh my god, that was my show.
Yeah, Sam Elliott's the best. I love Sam Elliott.
You you got a little bad mustache, man. That's a legendary mustache.
Watch The Ranch if you've never seen The Ranch.
That's a good one too. If you've ever seen The Big Lebowski, Sam Elliott's the guy who narrates The Big Lebowski for people that
hell yeah. But, well, he's just some kind of dude.
Yeah. Exactly. But fam, as always, we appreciate you. Myself, Dan, Pete, who was on. Todd, we love you as always. Big show next week. We might be having a new guy joining us. There's a new full-timer on
James
Friday. So
fucking Harden.
James.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we'll be doing live reactions. Well, we'll be doing live reactions next week of James Harden's debut in a Sixers uniform. We might start early. We'll have to talk about that because I know Dan has to put his kids to bed and Pete has to get home from work. So we'll discuss that. If need be, we'll call it. We'll start at 8:30. It's no big deal. But
I'm available.
I know you're available. But
I just got to get rid of the girl early.
Yeah. As always, we're brought to you by Gleason's Bar. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online. It's Gleason's Bar and Steak.com. Get 20. Also, use Manscaped. Make sure you're using Manscaped this week and get 20% off and free shipping with promo code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job. And also, become a member. Become a member while you're here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow us on all our social media at ATD Radio. If you can't catch our live shows, we're available on every podcast platform. Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, SoundCloud, we're everywhere. But become an ATD member, $9.99 a month. Perks include appearances on shows, members-only live streams, shout-outs, weekly sports picks for Money Pop Podcast and Willie Vegas. I'm done. And I've said it a million times. Nate will make you money. Wilson will make you money with his fantasy picks.
It's March Madness season, people.
Exactly.
If you want to make some money, Nate knows how to pick them.
Exactly. And while you're getting your picks from Nate Moss and Willie Vegas, also sign up with our new sponsor, BetUS. BetUS is a leading online sports book who has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link right in the comments below. It should be pinned at the top for a 125% sign-up bonus. Again, a $125 sign-up bonus. Sorry. But,
it's worthy of that, man.
But
make sure the people here.
I'm telling you, spend a little money, make a lot of money. That's what we're here for.
Definitely,
it's the whole point of the membership. And now you have a sports book where you can go and spend the money. So you can't beat it.
Absolutely,
can't beat it. And can't wait for it. Cannot wait.
Oh my goodness!
Next week's show is going to be electric. I can't wait.
That day, hey, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Harden's looking a little thinner underneath that jacket, man.
I said it in our group chat, Dan, when he came off the plane. I'm like, he looks skinny. Yep. He looks skinny.
He's already.
I need to I need to get in contact with his trainer because the fact that he's able to do a full blown Jonah Hill like that, it's insane. The fact that he's able, I'm convinced he has a fat suit. I'm just convinced.
It's maybe we get stuck on the beard and we get hypnotized by it, and then I don't know. It just makes his body look bigger. And next you know, like when he's motivated, it's like the pounds just shrink down, and you just like, whoa. What? How did he do that?
Yep. And Tom also says
sleep with a sauna suit on.
Yeah. And Tom also says deposit 50 on BetUS when you sign up, get you that 125 back.
Hey,
tough. That's why I might not disagree.
I don't think you want to be in this one, Tom.
No, you don't, because you're just going to deal with Pete talking about the USFL every 5 minutes. So
oh my goodness,
we're saving you that luxury, which we have to deal with on a daily basis. But anyway, we got to get out of here, fam. We appreciate you as always. From Jake Friel, Dan Shriak, Todd, and Pete, who was on with us earlier. We'll catch you guys back next week on another edition of Fan Friday. And yeah, Tom says I'm out.